from the speakers as well as from the participants. Once again, I welcome you all in today's session of this workshop. The first speaker for the day is Ms. Irina Danilova. Her Indian name is Alka Giri. She'll be joining us from Moscow, Russia. Irina is specialist in Ayurveda, Panchkarma, Himalayan Siddha Yoga, and palmistry. She is a teacher and leader in courses for foreign students in Vasudev Vilasan Ayurveda Institute at Trivandrum. She is founder of Lakshmi Travel Limited in Moscow. She is going to mountain clash Mansarovar travel since 2014 with foreign disciples who study yoga, meditation, Ayurveda. Her mission is to spread the knowledge and inspiration on Sanatan Dharma and Ayurveda in foreign countries. She will be speaking on Ayurveda and health. I would prefer to say health and Ayurveda because as WHO says that health is not only absence of disease or absence of infirmity, but it is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Ayurveda is not, according to me, Ayurveda is not alternative medicine system of medicine, not traditional medical system, but it is natural and holistic approach to health. Now she'll be speaking on Ayurveda and health. Over to you, Irene ma'am. Thank you.
Unmute. Thank you very much. Yes, we will talk about health and Ayurveda. And first of all, I would like to say that real wealth is health. So just if you really want to be a wealthy person, you need to care about your health first of all. After that, about your education, about your money, financial status. But first of all, you should care about your body and soul. And I'm a Russian person, and I used to stay in India for 12 years. And I came here to study Ayurveda because actually, as for me, that is the main science for everyone. And just you are here in India, you really just save this knowledge for all human beings. And it's really, we are lucky to get this knowledge from India. And now I'm really thankful for you guys to invite me for this conference because just now I'm not staying in Moscow. I came to Haridwar a few months ago. I just moved back to India after all that pandemic, and happy to be in Haridwar now with my actually Guruji. I stay in ashram, and as you know, Haridwar was the place where Ayurveda came to this world because it came from Brahma. You know, three gods in Hindu tradition, in Sanatan Dharma, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and Ayurveda came from Brahma. So it was in Haridwar. He passed Ayurveda to Prajapati, Daksha Prajapati. So being in Haridwar and just on the bank of River Ganga is really big blessing for me because it's the beginning of Ayurveda. You know that Ayurveda is actually not a medicine. It's just the science of life itself. And it's not only about how to preserve your health and actually make your life happy. It's also about some inner journey to the God. Because we are all here in human bodies, but we are also a part of the God itself. And telling the truth, during this COVID-19, everyone just got such an opportunity to think a little bit. What is important in this life? What is really need to do for every soul to get closer to the God? And Ayurveda also given that path to the God. Because our body is a temple. Our body is not just like a car where our soul sit and drive. Yeah, it's a temple itself. And according to Ayurveda, we should care about our body as it's our temple. So we have dinacharya, in Sanskrit, a lot of books in Ayurveda was written in Sanskrit. And so I will just translate some words in English. Like dinacharya, it's the actually daily regimen. And you should start your day on Brahma Muhurta. Brahma Muhurta is just before sunrise, 1.5 hours before sunrise. In different places of the planet, it will be different time. But in India, it's around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's the best time to start the day for everyone. And if we follow this routine, our health will be better and our mind will be clean. We will really manage our thoughts and our life, because all that energy of Brahma, creator, will help us. After we just woke up in Brahma Muhurta, we should just do mouth washing, and it should be a bitter taste. Don't use, please, all that toothpaste which is sweet or contains sugar. It's not healthy at all. Better use some powder, Ayurvedic powder with bitter taste. It will be very good. It will just invoke all the sense, and you will just get the perception of the world very clean and nice. You will get a good mood all the day, and you will feel all the tastes of food. You know that according Ayurveda, you should eat every day all 6 tastes. Yeah, 6 tastes. And European people never care about that. They only care about calories and about minerals, and they don't know even about 6 tastes.
Hello.
Hello.
Irina, you have some connectivity issue or it's fine?
I
Irina?
think she has lost her connection, internet connection.
Okay, wait
Let
for
her,
1
let
minute.
her join in again.
Okay, wait for 30 seconds or so.
Some internet issue. I hope again I can just follow with the topic. Sorry for my problems with internet. Yes, and we talked about 6 tastes in Ayurveda, and it's really important to get all 6 daily. And also about physical exercises. Now it's very popular to do sport. And European people just really fond of sport and heavy exercises. They do gym, and in India it's also very popular to go to gym almost every day. Yeah, but actually, if we read old books like Ashtanga Hridaya Samhita or Charaka Samhita, you will find that actually exercises are very helpful for us, but not in big quantity and not heavy. For example, if you're not sick or you're not pregnant or you are not just feeling weakness, you can do exercises every day in the morning before breakfast and before taking shower. But before doing exercises, please put sesame oil, tailam, on your body. You should use lukewarm oil every day for care about your bone and all your nervous system, hormonal system. It will make you happy and really strong. After that, only you can just perform some exercises like yoga or some maybe dancing, whatever. It will be very helpful for your health. But if you do gym every day, you will destroy your bones. And in some time, you will feel more problems with your health. Just people caring a lot about their beauty and their form, like they should look beautiful, yeah? But no one think about health. But it's more important to think about your future health and just use exercises in normal quantity, not a lot. And also it's very important to do regular walking. Just if you do it at least 30 minutes per day, all your system will working properly, like heart system, also hormonal system, and you will just really pay attention to your body. About breakfast, we can eat breakfast only after we clean all our sense organ, did physical exercises, put that lukewarm oil on our body, took shower. After that, we can eat breakfast. Only in this way. It's the best dinacharya or daily regimen. After that, you can start your job. But what is going on in our world now? People just usually wake up and they took their mobile and they start doing their business or their job from the morning. They don't care a lot about their daily regimen, especially in European countries. And they do sport in the evening. It's not healthy at all, because in the evening we should go to bed as early as possible, around 9 o'clock in the evening, because we have to wake up early, like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And of course, it's important to start our day with mantra or just meditation, because first hours of the day, they really belong to our soul, not to our body. So we should find the time for meditation, and it will just improve all our just life aspects. And if we are talking about Russia, for example, maybe you've heard about such thing that old Russia was much more closer to India that people can just imagine, because in old times, in Russia, we've also got Devanagari everywhere, and still we have a Russian river called like Moksha, Ganesha, Kailasa, Kama, whatever. So it means that in our land, it was also popular, all that completely about that, because of that, it was happened many centuries ago, many thousand years ago. And for Russian people, even it's a big surprise that what we can find in India and the old scriptures and texts, it's also get a lot of connection with our previous culture. And for example, now it's really very big amount of Russian people who want to study Sanskrit language, who are interested to read all that Ayurvedic books, or for example, Veda. They come to India to find out what was real, what was in the beginning, what was given by God. And Ayurveda and the yoga was given by God, you know that. And a lot of Russian people discover that it's much more closer to their soul than even our traditional Orthodox church. For example, in Russia now it's very popular to learn actually yoga and Ayurveda, and people start to pray to Shiva God or to Vishnu, because they feel much connection to that than even to Jesus. That is funny. Even when I just came to India first time many years ago, I knew nothing about Hinduism, about that tradition, but I felt like I just was already in this land many centuries ago, maybe my soul was here. And after that, my journey began, and I really was a little bit shocked because I just remembered all this from my mind. I just discovered all the knowledge from inside. And as I see just a lot of people who share with me about their experience in India, spiritual experience in India, they're telling me about the same things. So for Russian, a lot of Russian people follow this tradition because they feel much more connected to it. And also, in Russia, we have a lot of very similar habits like people in ancient India got. For example, we use also Ayurvedic oil for massage. We use different herbs, and every summer, all families goes to dacha. Dacha means a forest house. Every family in Russia got forest house, and we come there to collect the different herbs in forest and make like Ayurvedic recipes. It's Ayurvedic, but Russian Ayurveda. And we do healing for ourselves using sauna or banya. In Russia, we have such a steam house. We go there inside and we get just steam using also Russian herbs. And it's also very Ayurvedic. It's like more Ayurvedic than anything else. And here in India, I've got that you also, in Ayurveda, you use steam and herbs and cure people with only just natural products like butter, ghee, oil, different formulas also from only herbal things. Same happened to Russia. And even now in Altai Mountain, it's Siberia actually, we develop a center of Panchakarma and Ayurveda. So we just really found a lot of similar things in Ayurveda itself and in Russian holistic healing. That is amazing. And yes, for Russian people, it's much more interesting to heal themselves using nature itself than just go to a normal hospital, yeah? But as I know, now in India, it's very popular to go to usual hospital and use medicine. But that is a pity because foreigners comes to India and discover your ancient science of Ayurveda, and the people in India, they're more interested in Western lifestyle. I hope that all you young people will just little bit understand the importance of your roots, because you have such a beautiful culture, such a beautiful knowledge coming from God itself. And really, a lot of people all over the world would like to know and learn from India. Even in my ashram in Haridwar, we have a lot of Japanese guys who are coming every year to learn meditation. And in my Trivandrum University, where we teach Ayurveda, Japanese, Korean people, Russian people, Italian people comes to learn about Panchakarma. And they really, that is the countries who knows everything about medicine, yeah, about normal medicine. But still they have desire to learn from nature. They want to learn from old Indian actually scriptures. And we translate a lot of books actually. In Russia also we've got translation of Ashtanga Hridaya Samhita, Charaka Samhita, many other books, and people start reading by themselves. Even in Russia, we don't have a Ayurvedic institution, but people try their best to get this knowledge from internet or from somewhere. So as for me, we should just develop some friendship between our countries in this point, because really your country is really wonderful, and what we can just get here, no way we can get. Also yesterday we've got a small chat with I forgot, sorry. Actually, we talk about Kaya Kalpa. What is Kaya Kalpa? It's a Ayurvedic way to live long life, yeah? And you are Indian guys, you are going here and there trying to find different experience of different nation, how they just protect their body, how they just use their medicine to live long. But you by yourself here in India, you've got Himalayas, you've got really such places where you can find the real knowledge of how to protect your body and soul and mind, and how to live long and happy life. I think all the knowledge comes from you guys. So even it was spread all over the world, but it comes to you, and you are the that guys who really know how to to do that. If you have some questions, please ask me. I will just share my experience or whatever.
Irina, I have one question. Russian and Italian people are so strong and physically well built up. So what is your suggestion to us? We Indian also want to look like you people, strong and healthy. Though our Rishi Muni people, they used to live long life and very healthy life. But at present, our average lifespan is around 67, 70 years, and many other health issues also. Your suggestion to us?
Stop using sugar in big quantity, because actually Indian people now using a lot of sweet. Yeah, so sweet taste should be reduced. And actually try to manage your life, give yourself a time to meditate and to care about your body. Stop using all that allopathic medicine in big quantity. It's not helping us to protect our health. Try to find out what Ayurveda giving you. And also it's very important to go trekking in mountains sometimes, maybe once per year, but you have such a nice thing like yatra, yeah? Yatra, when you go to holy places by foot. So do it by foot. Don't use all that airplanes and cars. Try your best to enjoy all that nature and holy places by your foot. For example, you can visit Himalaya once per year. It will be very healthy habit for you. And also, don't use a lot of gym. Gym is not healthy thing. You just can do your exercises routine every day, like 40 minutes, 1 hour, but don't do it like for build all that muscles. It's not healthy. And try to do pranayam, because actually you are talking about Russian and Italian. So we use your knowledge to protect our body and soul. We come to you and study your pranayam, meditation, whatever. And you think, oh, they're looking so healthy and beautiful. Yes, because we are doing Ayurveda, you know.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I am satisfied with your answer. Maybe 2-3 other participants,
if
they
there
want
is-
to ask something.
Yes.
If there is any question, please. Any other question from the participants?
You can, participants, you can raise your hand if you want to ask question. We have such a beautiful and strong participant from Russia today, and she is right now in Haridwar. We are very lucky to have her in our session today. Any question from participant, professors, students, or any other participant? Ruchi ma'am, आप ही पूछ लो कुछ.
If no questions,
आप भी
I can tell a little bit more about Russia. For example,
Yes,
in
yes.
Russia, we used to do a cold shower every day. So first we take normal shower, after that we do cold shower. And the cold shower will just protect us from different diseases, because we make our body strong. But we have different climate in Russia, you know? We have -30 in winter, and summertime, it's like now in India. So for us, we need to protect our health a little bit more than you. You have everything here, beautiful nature, beautiful climate, but in Russia, we really suffer from cold. That's why we do a lot of things to protect our body. And cold shower, it's very helpful for us. And also we use like vodka sometimes to heat ourselves. So, for example, if you go to forest in the winter, and we love to go forest and do skiing or skating somewhere, or go to the mountain in winter time. So, not to become sick, we should drink a little bit of vodka, Russian vodka. Here,
Okay.
as I know, you
Irina,
don't drink alcohol a lot.
Irina, we are in Shimla right now, and Shimla was capital of India also long time back. We have very famous schools and colleges here. Many principals of those schools, they are connected with us today. We invite you to our institutes also after March and April. Whenever you will find time, we will send you special invitation and be part of our programs here also in Shimla.
Thank you so much. With pleasure. And nice to meet you all, guys. Really happy to be here.
Okay, and any question from the participant?
I think there is no question. See, she has made everything very clear. Then we should move ahead. Thank you, Ms. Irina. You have given the holistic picture of what is Ayurveda and yoga all about. And today, in the especially in post-pandemic world, health has taken central position. So thank you for enriching us. Now, Dr. Vijesh, Ritu is not online. There is some technical glitch.
Ritu has joined perhaps. Just now she
Yes,
has
right?
joined. Yes, Ritu has joined from London. She has joined perhaps.
Brijesh sir, it's Ritu Sharma or Ritu?
He is Ritu Gupta.
Okay. Maybe.
Sorry?
Thank you, Irina. We will be in touch, and we will plan some other project also, some discussion or some other mind and body detoxification centers we want to open in our state, and we will certainly take your help and suggestion also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I just.
Yes,
can we take in the next
can.
speaker, Dr. Vijesh?
Ritu is not
Select
available.
Third speaker.
If Ritu is not available, then who is the other speaker?
She is writing message to me that there is some technical glitch and she has to move out of home now. Now she'll be able to connect maybe after half an hour. So
Okay.
let's take in next speaker. Next speaker in row is Mr. Sachin. Sachin is known face and voice in Himachal Pradesh. He has served in many colleges of Himachal Pradesh. Presently, he is working in B.Ed College, Dharamshala, and he'll be speaking on hope and resilience foundations for career success in VUCA world. So he will be discussing on this topic, and one thing is very clear that his topic is going very well with the theme of the conference, which is New World Order, Resilience and Reinvention. He is very good he has art of public speaking, and it is our pleasure to be that Mr. Sachin is connected to us. Over to you, Sachin. We are eager to hear from you. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be.
Yes, your screen is visible. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I think it is visible now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so good afternoon to all of you. As ma'am just introduced, I'll be talking on hope and resilience, foundation for career success in VUCA world. Let me start with a couple of assumptions and a couple of disclaimers. I think first assumption I'm making is this pre-conference workshop series is being attended both by students and teachers. So I'll try to be relevant to both of these audience segments. One disclaimer I would like to start with is I have not done any original research on hope and resilience, so I'll be sharing some of the ideas and concepts based on my experiences and readings and interaction with people. So let me start by also saying that my entire presentation, and I have been asked to sum up my ideas in 15 minutes. So what I have done, just to save time, I have framed 5 pivotal statements. Those statements would basically would guide the structure and would also summarize the messages which I want to put across. So first key statement, which I'll be making today and I'll be explaining about, that it is a VUCA world. I will be talking about what do we mean by that. We have been living in VUCA world for quite some time, but the pandemic, COVID-19, has exacerbated the magnitude of this world. Career resources are required to succeed, more so during current times. And teachers need to play a critical role in developing hope and resilience in students. And hope and resilience are really critical for career success. So I'll be explaining all of these 5 statements. Let me start by reiterating the first statement, that it's a VUCA world. I'm sure many of you would have been aware of this acronym called VUCA. And I'm sure for some of you, it may be a new acronym. Let me quickly explain to you what do we mean by this. Let us look at this image. I think this is an interesting, symbolic, metaphorical representation of contemporary situation. You can see this person is standing on a boat, and boat is a currency actually that symbolizes that actually economy is sinking. Waters are turbulent, lightning ahead. We don't know what is going to happen next. I think I find this picture very interesting in terms of the fact that it encapsulates what's happening in contemporary worlds. Now let us go to this phrase, VUCA. VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. As you can see, the images associated with these 4 phrases: volatility, quick ups and downs, we don't know what will happen next. Uncertainty is, confusion. Complexity, how these elements are interconnected and how to unravel the mysteries being created on a daily basis. And ambiguity, when boundaries are fudgy, you don't know what will happen next. And where are the boundaries? All those things become ambiguity. So now volatility, just to explain it further, as it's written on the slide as well, volatility is a situation where you don't know what will happen next. It requires continuous analysis and evaluation. So the first message from my side, particularly for students, you need to in touch with what is happening around, because things are happening at such a fast pace that you won't be able to figure out what is happening around. Uncertainty. You know that when you can't predict for sure, that situation is called uncertainty. You don't know how to prioritize things. You don't know how to make meaning of the situation around. That situation is uncertainty. And complexity, many new factors are being springing up on a daily basis. I would say not just on a daily basis, maybe on an hourly basis or a second to second basis, things are getting connected to each other, making a complex web of reality. And ambiguity, the data in event are so difficult to even collect and interpret in an unequivocal terms. This is what is known as ambiguity. So now, if we are living in VUCA world, it's not a new phenomenon. By the way, this phrase came from American Army. They use this. They have been using this phrase in their military training courses to sum up a situation where you need to take strategic decisions. But now, from an army situation, from a battle situation, VUCA has become today's world's reality. But the second statement I have made was we have been living in a VUCA world for some time. It's not that it's a recent. However, the pandemic COVID-19 has exacerbated the magnitude of the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. I'm sure had it been an interactive session, I would have invited all of you to contribute. Do you think that we have been living in VUCA world for quite some time? But since the time is an important limitation, I would simply take you through one recent report which is relevant particularly for our youth group who are present in today's workshop. I'll be quoting from ILO's recent report on youth and COVID-19, impacts on jobs, education, rights, and mental well-being. So as this report also says the same thing, I have just made a statement that we have been living in VUCA world for quite some time. So this report also says that even before the onset of the crisis, current pandemic, the social and economic integration of young people was an ongoing challenge because of number of macro meta global processes. An impact of this crisis has been really systematic, deep, and disproportionate. When I say disproportionate, what do I mean? I mean disproportionate means it has been harsher for women, harsher for disadvantaged community, harsher for poor people. So the impact, all of us have felt the impact, but we have all felt in a disproportionate manner. It has been particularly hard on young women, younger youth, and youth in lower income countries. Heavy toll on young workers, destroying their employment, undermining their career prospects. And we have also noticed severe disruption. Most of us sitting here are teachers, so we have experienced firsthand that this COVID-19 has engendered severe disruption to learning and working, compounded by the health crisis. It has seen a deterioration in young people's mental well-being. And this last statement, which I just made, mental well-being, has actually made me think, and the topic given by Brijesh sir and the team behind him, the whole issue of resilience really hit me hard. And that's how I came up with this topic. Now let me move to the third statement. So career resources have always been considered as a prerequisite for career success, but more so during current difficult circumstances. Now let me quickly introduce to you the concept of career resources. In literature on career psychology, experts have listed 4 types of career resources. So this slide is very crucial for students and teachers who are working with those students. Students need to develop these career resources in themselves. Teachers who are looking after their own career can also take some ideas from here. And of course, teachers are also requested to be very attentive at this juncture, because as a facilitator of careers of their students, they need to really develop the resources listed here. In a proper workshop mode, I would have conducted a half-day workshop in order to unravel the terms which are there on the screen. But just to give you a quick idea, what are identity resources? Identity resources are pertaining to our goals and concepts, our self-management attitudes, our adaptability, protean career orientation. For many of you, that could be a new phrase, protean career orientation. See, Proteus was a Greek god for water, who was known for, his adaptability and versatility as per changing situation. That is, this concept is known as protean career orientation. Then human capital resources are your education, transferable skills, occupational knowledge, your abilities, your employabilities. These are human capital resources. Social resources are your mentors, the individuals who have been nurturing you, your networks, your parents, your social support. So your connections primarily, So these are very important resources in contemporary world. But I'll be focusing now on psychological resources. See, even if you are clear about your goals, even if you possess all human capital resources like knowledge, cognitive abilities, skills, and everything, even if you have social resources, good contact, but if your psychological resources are not in place, you are not likely to have career success. And some examples written here are optimism, hope, self-efficacy, and resilience. I have deliberately chosen just 2 concepts, hope and resilience. I'll be briefly talking about the concepts of hope and resilience. Mind you, hope and resilience can also be seen as a romantic notions. Romantic notions means, idealistic world, it's a goody-goody. It's a feeling of, some kind of a false feeling is not what I meant when I say hope and resilience, I'll be discussing these two concepts as stable psychological constructs vital for career success in contemporary world. So that brings me to the fourth and second last statement of my today's brief presentation, that hope and resilience are critical for career success. Let me quickly demystify these two terms and de-romanticize these two terms, because these two terms have highly been used in a goody-goody sense, which I generally try to avoid. Now let us look at this phrase hope. As a psychological construct, hope is basically an optimistic attitude of mind based on an expectation of positive outcome. So when we have a positive outcome of our endeavor, that mental motivational state of mind is known as hope. You can see in this image. Okay, let me complete this slide, then I will come to this image. One of the most important scholars on hope theory is a person called Snyder, and I really love his writings. He has defined in a conceptual manner what is hope. According to Snyder, hope means perceived capability to derive pathways to desired goals and motivate oneself via agency, thinking, to use those pathways. Some of you would have quickly got the intent of Snyder's formulation, but some of our students may find it a bit difficult to decode. So don't worry, I will quickly decode this for you. See, Snyder is basically talking about three elements. He is talking about goals thinking, pathways thinking, and agency thinking. If these three elements are not there, that means it's not hope, it's simply wishful thinking. ये ख्याली पुलाव है, एक दिवा स्वप्न है, इसका कोई अर्थ नहीं होगा. So it's very important to understand this. Hope है क्या? आपके कुछ लक्ष्य हैं, उन लक्ष्य तक पहुंचने के रास्ते आपको पता है, और उन रास्तों पे चलने की विल और डिटर्मिनेशन आपके पास हो, ये एजेंसी थिंकिंग है. Goals, pathways to reach to those goals, and agency and willingness and determination to follow those pathways in order to reach those goals. This is the conceptual meaning of hope, which is much, much larger than a feeling of hope. It's a very clear-cut, plan-driven, agency-oriented construct called hope. So basically, when you look at this word agency means it's a goal-deciding energy. You know, the power and willingness and determination to reach that goal is called agency. And when we say pathways, that means you know alternative routes in order to go to those goals. You know, so goals can also be seen at organized in a hierarchical manner. Global hope, your general sense of the world, sense of life, आपकी जो overall है, जिसको global concept of hope कह सकते हैं. Then hope in a particular role. I have heard many teachers that country is going to dogs, students don't have any future, youth don't have any future. So role specific hope. So whatever role you are playing in that particular role, you have to perform some tasks. To what extent do you assume those tasks to be successful is called role specific hope. And in a particular task, in a particular role, there are a series of goals which you need to have. So goals have been organized in our cognitive structure and at three levels at least. Global hope, which is an overall idea. Role specific, in one overall global sense of hope, there could be various roles. For example, I have a role as a citizen, I have a role as a teacher, I have a role as a friend, I have a role as a neighbor, I have a role as a husband, I have a role as a father, you know, I have a role as a son. So all those roles would have a corresponding sense of expected outcome, you know, that is what I mean, role specific goal. And now look at this image quickly. See, it said that success don't come to us, we go to them, you know. So if you see in this image, you can see that plant who is leaning towards sun, who is sending glimmers of hope from space, beyond space actually. So this little plant must have had a goal to get maximum sunlight. And then that plant must be knowing the pathway to get there. And the plant must have been having an agency and willingness and determination to bend itself a little in order to get the maximum sunlight. This is what I mean. There could be some plants, other plants also, who might have thought that, oh, we don't deserve that sunlight. We don't need it perhaps. And then perhaps we know those people who are around us who don't think that they need that glimmer of hope which comes from the sun. Now, from again a conceptual point of view, Spencer Niles, I'm a scholar from US. I have had a pleasure to work along with him in a couple of workshops. Spencer Niles, Amundsen, and a couple of other colleagues have come up with this idea of called hope-centric model of career development. It has 5 parts: self-reflection, self-clarity, visioning, goal setting and planning, implementing and adapting. You would see that in order to pass through these 5 steps, in order to develop your career, you need to have hope as the scaffolding construct. You need to reflect on yourself. You need to reflect on circumstances. You should have objective clarity and subjective clarity. You should have life role clarity. You should have vision. You should have long-term, short-term goal. You should have ability to monitor and evaluation. And for every step, you won't be able to take any step unless you have a hope that those steps would be successful. Now let us quickly look at this phrase, resilience. It is an ability to adaptively respond to hardship, stress, and adversity. Lage raho ka jo attitude hai, ability to bounce back. See, I am reminded of a famous statement by Abraham Lincoln. After every failure, he would get up and say, this is very important, huh? I would I would urge all of you to pay attention to this very profound statement, which has changed my own life, which has been inspiring me for decades. Abraham Lincoln used to say, it was not a fall, it was slip. ये पैर फिसला था, मैं गिरा नहीं था. It was a slip, it was not a fall. ये जो sense है, ability to bounce back, is what is known as resilience. Ability to mentally or emotionally cope with a crisis or to return to pre-crisis status quickly. Ability to bounce back is what is known as resilience. Resilient people can positively cope with any uncertainty. You remember VUCA? I talked about uncertainty. Any uncertainty, conflict, and failure can be dealt with this idea of resilience. Resilience can be seen both as a process, the process through which you come out of adversity and you get an outcome which is better than expectation, and then you become resilient personality. So resilience has been seen both as a process, as a product. It has a number of aspects. On every aspect, I think we should have one separate workshop, but I know I have just 3 minutes left, so I will just sum up my next couple of slides in 3 minutes. Resilience have quite a few factors. It should have a non-judgmental mind. You need to have a mindful regarding yourself. You should have a high self-esteem. You should have emotional self-regulation. You should have positive coping strategy. You should have spiritual freedom. You should have flexibility. And most importantly, I have just kept it deliberately at the last point, a strong relationship, network of mentors, network of people who can always charge you in your life will make you a more resilient person. So in contemporary VUCA world for career success, these are some 8 competencies which are needed. We should be good in oral and written communication, teamwork and collaboration, work ethic and professionalism. Professionalism means ability to deliver beyond expectation. That is how I define professionalism. Digital technology, career management abilities, global and intercultural fluency. In this workshop, for example, There are people from different countries, there are people from different cultures. How comfortable are we in order to leverage that diversity which is present amidst us? So leadership skills, critical thinking and problem solving skills, these are some of the important ones. That brings me to the fifth and final element, teachers' role. Teachers need to play a critical role in developing hope and resilience in students. How? First point, we need to be hopeful ourselves. हमारी अपने बारे में, अपने जीवन के बारे में, देश के बारे में, विद्यार्थियों के बारे में, उनके द्वारा किए गए कामों के बारे में हमारा क्या रवैया है. So we need to be hopeful about ourselves, and that hope would really work, that would really ignite other souls around us as well. So the first thing which we need to do, we need to demonstrate hopefulness through our words, through our behavior. And then I would also urge you to develop your own and your students' habits of mind. Here, I'm referring to a very famous book called Habits of Mind by Arthur Costa. I try to develop those habits, and I try to develop those habits in the minds of my students also, so that they ultimately turn up to be a very resilient and hopeful human being. We also need to help them develop career resources. We need to develop clarity about future. We need to give them skills to think. We need to give them leadership abilities. We need to connect them to the right kind of people. So we need to help them develop career resources. Just to remind you, identity resources, management resources, psychological resources, and human capital resources. We also need to visit nature. That will make you more hopeful. If you see around it, I believe that nature is the most hopeful entity around. Whatever happens, the sun will rise. Whatever happens, the stars would twinkle. At the appointed time, flowers would be there in mango trees, you know. So nature teaches us to be hopeful. And also you need to visit that places that make you feel accepted, loved, and refreshed. It could be a temple, it could be a mosque, it could be just going to a kindergarten school, going to an old age home, going to your own home, wherever you feel accepted, loved, and refreshed, you feel yourself nourished, that will fill you with hope. You need to keep on meeting positive people. And finally, you need to practice 3 loves. I have read somewhere that a teacher has 3 loves: love of learners, love of learning, and love of joining first 2 loves together, connecting first 2 loves. I'm repeating: love of learning, love of learner, and love of connecting first 2 loves together. So keep learning, keep loving your students, keep bringing these 2 loves together. That's how we nurture a generation of young people who are full of hope and full of resilience. If you remember in that my title slide, I have used this image. And in concluding slide also, I have brought it together just to complete the circle of life, to complete the circle of my presentation. This will be the last slide for my end. This is an ultimate image of hope and resilience. Our farmers are fighting for their rights nowadays, but I believe farmers are most hopeful individuals. When they sow the seeds on the ground, on the soil, they don't know how many of them would actually turn into a tree. And quite a few of them actually turn into a tree. This is the lesson which we need to learn from nature. This is the lesson which we need to learn from the farmers, And from the final statement, for the final statement of my side, I would say the one core thing which we can do as teacher is to help our students see dreams, सपने. जब तक हम आशावान हैं, और आशावान तब तक हैं जब तक कि हमारे सपने जिंदा हैं, तभी तक हम जिंदा हैं, है ना. सपनों से मुझे याद आती है धर्मवीर भारती हिंदी के कवि हुए इनकी कविता, क्योंकि है सपना अभी भी, क्योंकि है सपना अभी भी, इसलिए तलवार टूटी अश्व घायल। मेरे जो अस्त्र शस्त्र हैं वो टूट गए हैं, जिन घोड़े पे मैं चल रहा था वो भी खत्म हो गए, घायल हो गए, क्योंकि है सपना अभी भी। इसलिए तलवार टूटने के बाद भी, इसलिए तलवार टूटी अश्व घायल। कोहरे डूबी दिशाएं, कौन दुश्मन कौन अपने लोग, सब कुछ धुंध धूमिल। मुझे कुछ दिखाई नहीं पड़ रहा, अपने कौन है पराये कौन है। तलवार टूट गई है, घोड़े जो है वो थक गए हैं, घायल हो गए हैं, क्योंकि है सपना अभी भी। इसलिए तलवार टूटी अश्व घायल। कोहरे डूबी दिशाएं, कौन दुश्मन कौन अपने लोग, सब कुछ धुंध धूमिल। किंतु कायम युद्ध का संकल्प है अपना अभी भी, क्योंकि है सपना अभी भी। सपना जब तक रहेगा हम में और हमारे विद्यार्थियों में, हम में होप और रेजिलियंस बना रहेगा, और लाइफ सक्सेस और करियर सक्सेस बहुत ही आसान हो जाएगी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Sachin, for such a wonderful talk. And we were expecting, of course, from you. And it seems as if it was keynote talk of this seminar. You have very beautifully introduced us to VUCA word. It is not only in recent time that this term came into being, but otherwise many other social thinkers, like I am reminded of one thinker, he is German sociologist, Ulrich Beck. He talks about changes in the world and which are taking place, and change is not determined. The form or the type and direction and magnitude cannot be determined. He has explained in his magnum opus, Risk Society. Very beautifully narrated, and especially my take on this topic is hope, understanding hope and understanding resilience, and connecting, explaining beautifully that how this model, hope centric model of career is there. Beautifully explained, Sachin. And I think as if we have introduced our keynote speaker now for this international conference, which is scheduled for 25th and 26th. Thank you very much, Sachin.
Thank
If
you,
there
ma'am.
is any question
Questions,
from
please.
the
Questions.
audience, please ask. You can raise your
There
hand.
is a question from Rajesh Kumar.
जी बोलिए।
Rajesh ji, please unmute yourself. I've already.
सर नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार राजेश जी।
बहुत बढ़िया सर, आपने मतलब मुझे एक नए मेरे जीवन में नई दिशा दे दी, क्योंकि मैं भी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक और होपफुलनेस में हमेशा रहता हूँ, हमेशा ऑप्टिमिज्म में रहता हूँ, हमेशा ऑप्टिमिज्म देखता हूँ हर क्षेत्र में। तो मैं रिकोंगपियो महाविद्यालय में अध्यापन करता हूँ। लेकिन कई बार क्या होता है कि समाज में ऐसा देखा जाता है कि जो रेजिलियंस को कमजोरी भी समझता है। तो इस तरह से कई बार मन में कई बार विचार आते हैं कि वाकई मैं रेजिलिएंट हूँ, क्या मैं कमजोर हूँ, तो अपने आप ही सेल्फ डाउट आना शुरू हो जाता है।
जी
ऐसे क्या चाहिए, इस तरह के मन में विचार आए तो इसको कैसे बाहर करना चाहिए, तो प्लीज आप थोड़ा बताएंगे तो धन्यवाद जी।
थैंक यू फॉर योर क्वेश्चन राजेश जी। देखिए, एक जो है ना, मैं हमेशा ये बात अपने स्टूडेंट्स को भी कहता हूँ और अपने साथियों को भी, कि जैसे रेडियो चैनल्स चलते हैं ना,
जी
तो आप देखेंगे रेडियो पे अलग अलग मीटर बैंड्स होती हैं, और हमको जो चैनल सुनना होता है, हमारा न्यूज सुनने का मन है तो हम न्यूज चैनल पे ट्यून इन करते हैं, गाने सुनने का मन है तो गानों पे ट्यून इन करते हैं। तो हमारे मन के अंदर भी ना बड़े सारे चैनल चल रहे होते हैं, और जो उसमें सबसे डोमिनेंट चैनल चल रहा होता है हमारा खुद का जो ब्रॉडकास्ट सिस्टम है ना, जो हम अपने आप को ब्रॉडकास्ट करते रहते हैं, एक चैनल वो चल रहा होता है। एक चैनल हमारे आसपास जो पॉजिटिव लोग हैं उनका चैनल चल रहा होता है, नेगेटिव लोग हैं उनका चैनल चल रहा होता है। तो आप कौन सा चैनल स्विच इन करते हैं, कौन सा चैनल से ट्यून इन होते हैं, वो बहुत क्रूशियल है। तो वहां पर जो आप अपने आप से बातें करते हैं, साइकोलॉजिस्ट कहते हैं कि दिन भर में हम अपने आप से 50,000 स्टेटमेंट्स कम से कम बोलते हैं
जी।
और उन स्टेटमेंट्स में अधिकतर स्टेटमेंट्स रूटीन के होते हैं, जैसे मैं फिर लेट हो गया, कपड़े पता नहीं सूखे होंगे कि नहीं, मेरी किताबें धूप में रखी थी खराब तो नहीं हो गई होंगी। ये कुछ इनकॉन्सिक्वेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स भी हैं 50,000 में अधिकतर, लेकिन कुछ स्टेटमेंट्स ऐसी हैं जो हमारी जीवन को दिशा दे सकती हैं, जैसे, और मतलब पॉजिटिव दिशा भी दे सकती है और नेगेटिव दिशा भी दे सकती है। तो बेसिकली आइडिया ये है यहाँ पर कि आप कम से कम अपने को लेकर के हार्श ना हो। देखो दुनिया तो हार्श है ही, people are there to put you down always, but then if you yourself is putting down, see जैसे कहते हैं ना, if you think you are good, if you think you are bad, you're it's true in both the cases, because how can you challenge your own thoughts? So basically जब आपको लगे ना, खुद पे यदि आपको डाउट होना शुरू हो जाए, है ना, क्योंकि देखो यदि आप खुद पे डाउट करेंगे ना, तो लोग तो डाउट करने के लिए है ही आपके चारों तरफ। तो मेरी तो बेसिक सजेशन आपसे यही होगी, जैसा मैंने अपने आखिरी स्लाइड में भी बात कही है, कि यदि आप, मतलब मैं ही नहीं कहूंगा बी कनेक्टेड, आई वुड से बी इमर्स्ड इन पॉजिटिव लिटरेचर, बी इमर्स्ड इन नेचर, बी इमर्स्ड इन पीपल हु आर पॉजिटिव इन देयर आउटलुक, हु बेसिकली, देखो दो तरह के लोग हैं, एक लोग हैं हु विल पुट यू डाउन, और एक वो लोग हैं हु विल हेल्प you bring out the best in you. So try to spend as much time as possible with people who will help you to bring out the best which is already there in you. You know, तो वो तो हमारे हाथ में, but I understand कि हमारे चारों ओर बहुत सारी नेगेटिविटी है, उसमें फिर तरीका ये रखें जो यूजुअली मैं अपने स्टूडेंट से भी कहता हूँ, you need to keep your door shut, but you need to keep your windows open also. पॉइंट ये है कि जो लोग आपके चारों ओर हैं, नेगेटिव है, उनको आप जीवन से हटा दो, यू कांट ऑब्लिटरेट देम आउट। सो पॉइंट इज वी हैव टू एक्सेप्ट देम द वे दे आर, उनसे जो मिनिमम काम की बात हो सकती है वो करें, और बाकी अपना जो अधिकतर समय पॉजिटिव लोगों के साथ, पॉजिटिव आइडियाज के साथ बिताएं।
जी धन्यवाद जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
और कोई साथी?
Is there any other question? Please raise the hand. Participants, please raise the hand. Dr. Brijesh?
जी मैम।
Any question
Hello?
from your side?
ओके, पार्टिसिपेंट्स ने पूछ लिया है। सर आपने बहुत बढ़िया से प्रेजेंटेशन दी है, एंड इट वाज वेरी सिस्टमेटिक प्रेजेंटेशन। आप अभी धर्मशाला में रहते हैं, वेरी ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस ऑफ आवर स्टेट, और वहां से आइडियाज भी अच्छे अच्छे ही रहते होंगे। यू रिप्रेजेंटेड आवर कंट्री आल्सो इन वेरियस इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म। तो आपके साथ मिलके हम लोग कुछ काम करेंगे, एंड वी are expecting some good presentation during international conference also. मैं भी अगर क्वेश्चन तो मेरे पास बहुत सारे रहते हैं, और क्लास में भी हम बहुत पूछते थे। मेरा क्वेश्चन तो यही है कि एक लाइन में आपने शॉर्ट में अगर बताना होगा तो कि हमारी स्टेट में 15-16 लाख पढ़े लिखे लोग हो गए हैं। दे हैव डन देयर एजुकेशन, इंजीनियर्स भी बहुत हैं, पीजी पढ़ा है बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट में लोगों ने। इन लोगों के बारे में आप क्या बताना चाहते हैं? हाउ दे शुड channelize their energy and life in the present circumstances where we don't have so many job options, और आपका क्या मानना है ये लोग क्या करें? क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट के लिए भी ये दे आर बिकमिंग हेडेक टू गवर्नमेंट आल्सो, कि इनको क्या कैसे हम सेटल करें और क्या इनका करें। हम बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं इनके लिए, और तो उसमें भी इश्यूज रहते हैं। व्हाट इज योर व्यू? नेक्स्ट स्पीकर भी रेडी हैं मुंबई से, और उदय जी इज आल्सो रेडी। तो आप एक शॉर्ट में हमें कुछ बता दें इसके बारे में।
हाँ सर, मैं समझ सकता हूँ समय की सीमा, तो जस्ट 3 सेंटेंसेस। पहली बात तो ये है सर कि जो करियर गाइडेंस पर्सपेक्टिव से there are 2 broad approaches. One is labor market cycle driven, other is individual potential driven. तो सर जो मेरी तरह से हमेशा से मेरा जो एक थ्योरेटिकल और मोरल स्टैंड रहा है कि हमको अपनी पोटेंशियल पहचान कर उस पोटेंशियल के लिए मार्केट क्या है वैसी तैयारी करनी चाहिए, ना कि मार्केट के हिसाब से अपने आप को जबरदस्ती ठोक पीट के घुसेड़ने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए। तो मेरी तरफ से तो बेसिकली यही सर कि अपनी पोटेंशियल पहचाने और उस पोटेंशियल की मार्केटेबिलिटी के लिए कोशिश करें। और इस पे सर विस्तृत चर्चा की आवश्यकता है, जैसा कि आपने खुद ही कहा, वो हम कभी जब समय हमारे पास पर्याप्त होगा तो मुझे बहुत खुशी होगी.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now we
All
should
pleasure.
bring
My
in-
pleasure all through.
Thank you very much, Sachin. Now we should bring in next speaker. Next speaker is Miss Hiran Tushar. Hiral Tushar, she is mm, she will join us from Mumbai, India. Her talk is on life in metropolitan cities and future jobs. The Hiral Tushar is BCom and she has done her master's in international business with specialization in merger and acquisition from UK. She has also done diploma in digital marketing from Mumbai. Over to you, Ms. Hiral Tushar.
Thank you for the introduction. So just before I start, I've joined the call 5 minutes back, and I feel like I'm just too young to be talking or mentoring these students. So I'm just going to talk to you as a peer student as well. I mean, I'm still learning. We're all learning in our journeys. So I'm just going to talk to you in that way. So feel free to stop me at any point in time you have questions. I'm just going to talk about my experience from where I come and what I've done in my life. First of all, thank you for inviting me for this seminar. I feel great to be part of a student community that's ambitious and driven by ambition, because that's a very motivating part for me, and it's so self-satisfying to be a part of a community that's already looking forward to building their careers so early in life. So coming from a place where I've been born and brought up in Mumbai. I did my graduation from Podar College, that is just 5 minutes away from my place. I did my schooling from JB Vacha, that was again 5 minutes away from my place. So till my graduation, I've lived in a bubble. I lived in a place where I didn't have to travel a lot. I didn't know how to travel by trains. I didn't know how to really explore different cultures. I mean, it was just so restricted in that sense that once my graduation got over, I saw everyone taking career paths. Coming from a commerce background, a lot of people started choosing chartered accountancy as their career, and a lot of people started seeking out for jobs in finance. At that stage in my life, I was very confused as to what I should be doing. I knew that this didn't sound exciting enough for me, but I was still figuring out my path. So whoever in this group of students, there'll be I'm sure there'll be people who are already sure of what they want to do, and then there'll be people who don't know where they want to go ahead from here. And I think situations are completely normal. It is okay to not having figured out at this age what you really want to do, because eventually you will, but it'll take time, and that is absolutely fine. So that we need to normalize that first. Now coming to my topic, I have worked in the startup ecosystem for the longest time. So I've worked with a lot of startup entrepreneurs, and I come from an innovation background because I've done my master's in international business. So when I went after my after my graduation, when I went to UK, it was a completely different experience for me, because I was exploring different cultures. I was getting to know people from different backgrounds. I was exploring different personalities. And I think people skills is a very important trait to have if you're looking to build a career in any sector. I think to understand the psyche of a person and to respond in a way that that person would be interested to have an engaging conversation with you, that is something that I learned when I stepped out of my house and I went to a different country and came out of my bubble at that point. So because I'm from the startup ecosystem, I'm going to talk about choosing entrepreneurship as a career path. I think especially we need to talk about this coming from a country like India, which is the third largest startup hub in the world after US and China. And we are from a country where changed so many trends for us. Work from home has become a thing which wasn't there before. I'm still working from home. And a lot of companies have realized that space anymore is not a constraint for people to work, given the development in technology. The major factor that happened that I've realized is downsizing. A lot of companies had to let go of a lot of workers because of funding issues, because profits were not matched. Companies have been making losses. So a lot of people got affected in that way. And because of that, I think now more than ever, it is very important for the young generation of our country to pick entrepreneurship or to pick innovation as their career choice. Speaking about that, I mean, a lot of questions come up that so early in your career, how do you do that? You have lack of resources. You don't have any idea how to even start the process. So I hope that this next 5 minutes is going to help you kind of at least have a basic idea of how to go about it. So I think the first and foremost thing to do is build up on your observational skills. Keep your head, keep your mind, your eyes, your ears, all of it open, so that you're receiving uh, content that people are talking around you. That's one part of it. The observation comes in when you're observing that what kind of problem exists around you. Is there a problem that you are facing in your daily life? Is there a problem that you've seen your friends, your family talk about or face in their daily life? If there is, that problem is going to be the key to starting your own company or your own idea. uh, the next part, after you found out that what the problem exists, the next part is to ask yourself a question: that can technology in today's world help you solve that problem and give a solution to the people on a mass scale? If that is the solution, if that can be developed through technology, it does not necessarily mean that you need to have a technological background. That is completely fine. But if you know that a technology can solve it, that is important, and that is key to knowing that. Once you've found once the answer to that question is yes, you move on to the next stage. The next stage is research. Research is extremely important. Research in terms of whether there are competitors in the market, whether you're an early entrant, because that kind of helps you place your company in the market. Then research also very importantly in the terms of whether your uh, potential clientele has the need for a product like this. Because I think a lot of time entrepreneurs, what they do is they get so biased towards their product or their service that they forget to include the client's opinion in that. And I feel that research is so important, because it is not necessarily what you want to give. It is more important that what the person, that the who you're going to cater to needs or wants from that product. So I think that research is very important. At this stage, you also kind of list down the kind of expenses that you will be incurring through that journey. So that's the next part of it. Once that plan is ready, you move on to the next stage. That's the stage is called minimum viable product. So at this stage, you kind of develop your minimum viable product based on all the research that you've gathered. So one, you describe what your business model is going to be, what your revenue model is going to be, because without a revenue model, you don't really know where you're going to get your earnings from for the company or for the idea. The next is market strategies, because market strategies is the key to reaching your audience. It needs to be very strong in terms of content, for what your platforms are. And I think a lot of digital outlets have opened up in that segment, and it's so saturated that you need your content strategy to be the strongest at this level. The next part of it is organizational strategy. You need to understand what your company requires and what expertise you need to hire to cater to that need. So I think organizational structure is the next part of it that you need to focus on at this stage. You need to define what you want to give to your audience. You need to define what your offerings are, your features, your how do you how would you manage to develop the product. So I think that comes in when you're developing the minimum viable product. Now, say that this minimal viable product is launched and successful in the market after the initial test. Then in every entrepreneur's life, there comes a stage where you reach saturation. You don't know where to move ahead from here and what to do after this stage. So then you look into the resources. The resources are exhaustive in today's market, and I think there is less awareness in a lot of cities when it comes to that. So I mean, first is foremost, you need to realize there are seed funders who exist, people who are ready to fund your idea, and your MVP exists. There are early stage venture capitalists who would be interested in hearing you out, to hearing your idea, to give you the guidance required, and to invest in your company. There are accelerators and incubators, not just on a local level, but internationally. There are competitions that happen. There are accelerators that help you get the right guidance, the right mentorship, to help you get the right connects, to help you get the right office support, to help you get the right people into your company. So those kind of resources can be used from accelerators and incubators all around the world. There are startup networks that exist, and I think the biggest thing that an entrepreneur can learn from is peer-to-peer connects. So if you're a part of a network like that, you can learn so many things from just being on a platform with the people who are going through the same journey as you are. And last but not the least, because our government talks about being Atmanirbhar, even on a state and central level, there are so many startup schemes that exist that can be utilized if you are looking for being an entrepreneur at this stage. And there are a lot of talks about vocal for local. So you know that the government is supporting entrepreneurs who want to come forth and work for their own country and own company as well. So yeah, I think this is the gist of if you're looking to be an entrepreneur as a career choice at this point. And I hope that many of you choose that, because I think it is required with a pandemic in our face. And it's also required because there's so much learning that you get when you practically work on your own idea, and it's so exciting and it is so challenging, but also you get to meet a lot of people, and you get to explore a lot of opportunities. You probably fail, you learn from that, you probably succeed. I think both of it, either ways, you're going to uh, learn a lot from that experience. So I'm open to questions if anyone has any.
Thank you, Hiral Tushar, for sharing your valuable experiences with us. Your contribution is really helpful for the students who are connected with us. And you have clearly mentioned that what type of skills they need to hone, and how they can start with their own entrepreneur, and what are various steps you should take care of. Thank you very much. If there is any question from the participant, please raise your hand. Any question?
Okay, if there is no question, it's always from my side. Miss Tushar, I have seen your house in Mumbai. You live in very beautiful house there, and you are very active nationally and internationally in various business organizations also. हमारी स्टेट के बच्चों के लिए क्या मैसेज है आपका? And we invite you to Shimla also. Come with Papa to our state, Shimla. Have you visited Shimla sometime?
In my childhood, I had visited. I've not been there since many years now.
Okay. तो एक तो हम आपके घर देखने आ रहे हैं विंटर्स में with some students and some professors. And कोई मैसेज क्या देना चाहेंगे आप हमारी स्टेट के बच्चों के लिए if they want to do something big in metropolitan cities or like your profession?
हाँ, मतलब मैं ये फील्ड से हूँ, तो मैं तो यही कहूंगी कि सिटीज में भी बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स है। जैसे हम लोग अभी देख रहे हैं सिटीज में कि अभी हम लोग रास्ते पे जाते हैं तो रिसाइकलिंग नहीं होता है सिटीज में। एजुकेशन सेक्टर में प्रॉब्लम्स है इन टर्म्स ऑफ टीचिंग, देयर आर लेसर रिसोर्सेज। टेक्नोलॉजी स्टिल बीइंग डेवलप्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ मेकिंग द सिटी इनटू अ स्मार्ट सिटी। अभी हम लोग अभी मुंबई में मैं बात करूँ तो एक जगह पे एक स्मार्ट सिटी बना रहे हैं, जिधर उन्होंने प्लॉट लिया, फिर डिफरेंट फंक्शंस जैसे लाइटिंग, आईओटी, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स, वो सब यूज करके वो लेके एक स्मार्ट सिटी बना रहे हैं। तो वही कॉन्सेप्ट अगर एक मुंबई मेन सिटी में लाने की ट्राई करते हैं तो वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है। तो वैसे काम के लिए हमको इनोवेशंस चाहिए, हमको चाहिए कि स्टूडेंट्स एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप सेलेक्ट करें और गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट के साथ, और जो रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल है आज के सिटीज में उसको यूज करके वो लोग वो सोल्यूशन का प्रॉब्लम का सोल्यूशन लाए। तो मेरा वही मैसेज होगा उनके लिए।
Thank you, Hiral. Dr. Vijesh, should we start with the next speaker?
एक क्वेश्चन कोई पूछना चाहते हैं? राजेश कुमार कोई है?
राजेश कुमार, yes please. Rajesh, please ask your question. Hello.
रश्मि मैम, कैन यू अनम्यूट राजेश कुमार? वो कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहते हैं. He has raised hand. Rajesh Kumar.
Dr. Vijesh, you can unmute him.
Okay, okay, wait 1 second. I will try.
Two other participants have raised their hand. Unmute them, please.
Rashmi ma'am, you are there? Hello? Rashmi ma'am? Hello? Okay, I just got asked to unmute. Okay, अब try राजेश जी try करिए आप
type
unmute
your
होने.
question and I can read out the question from the chat
जी,
box.
थैंक यू ब्रिजेश सर.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
थैंक यू रुचि मैम, थैंक यू मैम. मेरा
ahead,
क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसे हमारे महाविद्यालय में जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स पढ़ते हैं, उनका जनरली करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज के लिए कन्वेंशनल करियर्स के लिए होता है. तो अनकन्वेंशनल करियर से कुछ नए जो आए हैं आजकल, तो उसके लिए प्रेरित करने के लिए क्या हम करिकुलम में कुछ इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं हमारे? तो क्या करना चाहिए? मैम से क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहिए, क्या हम कोई सॉफ्ट स्किल की तरह कोई हम कोर्स शुरू कर सकते हैं अलग से एडिट? तो क्या हमें करना चाहिए मैम?
कॉलेज के कोर्स के लिए मैं ये बोलूंगी कि मैं थोड़े साल पहले हम लोग ने एक प्रोग्राम चालू किया था इधर कॉलेज में ही. SNDT यूनिवर्सिटी है मुंबई में, ओनली गर्ल्स के लिए है. तो हम लोग ने उधर एक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप प्रोग्राम चालू किया था. तो वो प्रोग्राम ऐसा था कि जैसे आपने बोला कि सॉफ्ट स्किल्स डेवलप करने चाहिए एक एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने के लिए, जिसपे मैंने बात किया. तो उस प्रोग्राम में हम लोग ने डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स रखे थे. जैसे फर्स्ट सेशन में उनको सिर्फ एक व्हाइट बोर्ड दिया था जिसमें उनको अपने आइडियाज लिस्ट डाउन करने थे. उनको बोलना था कि प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है, उसके सॉल्यूशंस क्या है. तो वैसे हम लोग ने एक्टिविटी किया था एक पूरा, जिसमें वो लोग को रियलाइज होके वो लोग उनका एनालिटिकल स्किल कैसा है, तो वो एक सॉफ्ट स्किल हम लोग ने डेवलप करने के लिए किया था. फिर हम लोग ने उनको रेज्यूमे बनाने के लिए सिखाया था, बिकॉज व्हाट यू प्रेजेंट और आपका बायो कितना स्ट्रांग हो सकता है, वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है एक मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटी में. बिकॉज सबसे पहले वो लोग आपको मिलेंगे भी नहीं, सबसे पहले वो आपका बायो मांगेंगे. तो वो कितना स्ट्रांग हो सकता है, तो एक पैराग्राफ लिखने के लिए बोला था, क्या हाईलाइट करना चाहिए, वो सब हम लोग फोकस करते हैं उस पे. फिर अदर सॉफ्ट स्किल्स माइट बी इन टर्म्स ऑफ लिस्ट रिसर्च. आई मीन लॉट ऑफ हम लोग ने उनको बहुत सारा काम दिया था जिसमें उनको रिसर्च करना था of different ideas that already exist in the market. Can they innovate from there? Can they come up with their own judgments के उनको लग रहा है उनका प्रोस क्या है. तो हम लोग एक SWOT एनालिसिस बनाया था. तो SWOT एनालिसिस में ऐसा होता है स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेसेस, अपॉर्चुनिटीज और थ्रेट्स एक कंपनी के लिए क्या हो सकते हैं. तो वो एनालिसिस उनको डिफरेंट आइडियाज पे करने के लिए बोला था. ये सब स्किल मिला के उनको काफी हेल्प होता है ये सोचने के लिए कि उनको क्या करना चाहिए इन टर्म्स ऑफ करियर. बिकॉज ये आपको खुद रियलाइज हुआ आफ्टर डूइंग ऑल ऑफ दीज एक्सरसाइज, आपको खुद रियलाइज होगा कि आपको इसके आगे क्या आपका स्किल किधर फिट हो सकता है एक कंपनी में. और हम लोग का और एक पार्ट है जिसमें हम लोग जॉब शैडोइंग करते हैं. तो मेरी एक कंपनी थी जो जॉब शैडोइंग ऐसा होता है कि आप हर एक वीक अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट्स में काम करेंगे. तो आप सपोज एक वीक आपने सेल्स में काम किया, तो दूसरी वीक मार्केटिंग में काम करेंगे, तीसरी वीक फाइनेंस में काम करेंगे, फोर्थ वीक आप HR में काम करेंगे. तो वो जॉब शैडोइंग हो गया. तो आप डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स में जब भी काम करते हैं तो उससे भी रियलाइज होता है कि आपका स्किल किधर फिट होता है. आपको सब सेक्टर्स अच्छे लग रहे हैं तो आप एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए जा सकते हैं. अगर आपको एक पर्टिकुलर साइड अच्छा लग रहा है तो आप उसमें कुछ आइडिया क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. अगर नहीं तो वही कंपनी में, वही डिपार्टमेंट में आप फर्दर काम करना चाहेंगे. तो वैसे अलग अलग प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं जो हम लोग रन करते हैं जिससे स्टूडेंट्स को हेल्प होती है.
जी, थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू मैम.
There is one more question. Dr. Brijesh, please unmute the participant.
Who is Rajesh Kumar?
No. Other two participants are raising their.
ध्रुव राज गोदारा जी आप पूछ सकते हैं. गोदारा जी आप पूछे क्वेश्चन.
मैडम मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes,
हाँ
yes.
जी, हाँ
your
जी,
voice
yes.
Clear.
आपने जो डिजिटल मीडिया या इंडिया का जो विजन दिखाया है वो ए ग्रेड और बी ग्रेड सिटी तक फुली सक्सेसफुल है। सी एंड डी ग्रेड सिटीज के अंदर स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म्स। If any research, any study, any course curriculum which was included in the lower classes up to
सॉरी, क्वेश्चन मुझे आप वापस रिपीट कर सकेंगे?
your digital platform is completely adopted in A grade and B grade cities.
हाँ.
If and students are not interested in C and D grade cities.
हाँ, वो अभी मुझे लग रहा है कि वो ग्रेजुअली चेंज हो रहा है। जैसे हम लोग के काफी प्रोग्राम्स है जो स्टूडेंट्स पे फोकस करते हैं और स्टूडेंट्स को सिखाते हैं, वो स्पेसिफिकली डिजाइन किए गए हैं टियर 2 और टियर 3 सिटीज के लिए, जिधर ये एक्सेस नहीं है, जिधर अवेयरनेस नहीं है। तो वो सारे सिटीज में बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम जैसे जा रहे हैं, स्पेशली एग्रीकल्चरल फील्ड में। आप देखो तो जो मेन सिटीज में नहीं होता, एग्रीकल्चरल यूजुअली हैपेंस इन डिफरेंट सिटीज। तो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बहुत सारे जो टियर 3 सिटीज है जिधर एग्रीकल्चर फोकस है, तो उसमें भी टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज हम लोग अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करें, तो वो धीरे धीरे प्रोग्राम्स आई थिंक वो सब सिटीज में पहुंच रहे हैं। तो आई थिंक अर्ली एंट्रेंस द बिगर द विन। So if any of you can learn from this and any of you are inclined towards this, आप early entrance हो सकते हैं, आप जल्दी ये फील्ड में जा सकते हैं, तो आपको उसका एडवांटेज भी मिल सकता है कि आप अपने सिटी में क्या कर सकते हैं, ये सब रिसोर्सेज को यूज करके जो आपकी सिटीज में आ रहे हैं धीरे धीरे। तो आई थिंक वो की है।
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other question? कोई अगर पूछना चाहते हैं, then we can proceed further. All right, Ruchi ma'am, Ritu Gupta is joined or not?
Ritu has not
thank you,
joined. There is
thank you,
some
Miss Tushar. Thank you very much. We will be in contact with you and we'll take, we'll share your knowledge in other platforms also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hiran.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Dr. Brijesh,
हाँ जी।
Ritu is not connected and she won't be able to connect to us for next 1 or 2 hours. That means we are going to skip her today, and you can introduce another speaker. I do
Okay,
not
Mr. Uday is available. Mr. Uday. Okay, if he is also not available, we will have their video clipping and we will share those clipping in the group later on. रुचि मैम, फिर तो मेरा ही नंबर है नेक्स्ट, मुझे भी आप इनवाइट करिए आप।
You are already invited. Now the next speaker is master designer of this workshop, Dr. Brijesh Chauhan. He has served in many government colleges in RKMV, Coursera, and many other colleges in Himachal Pradesh. Presently, he is principal, government college, government PG college, Seema. He will be discussing about his journey from his school to the present position of the principal. Over to you, Dr. Brijesh. You don't need any introduction.
Thank you, ma'am. By the time I will speak for 4-5 minutes, tell Rashmi ma'am to be ready with my profile sharing. I have sent her some file.
Right.
तो मैं अभी तब तक start करता हूँ. You just call her, Rashmi ma'am, and
Thank you.
by the time I will speak. All right, it's my time today now to share my life journey. Like
Hello.
I started with my education at a very small school long time
Brijesh,
back.
I'm here. So would you like me to share your PPT?
No, later after few minutes, Rashmi ma'am. After few minutes,
Okay.
I will ask. Okay. All right. I started my journey from government high school Tikkar in Upper Shimla area. और हम जब पढ़ते थे उधर तो I will speak little Hindi also. Maybe some Irina or other people will be listening. मैं उनको बाद में समझा दूंगा because most of the people they know Hindi. तो मैंने अपनी जर्नी उधर से स्टार्ट करी थी स्कूल से। और I want to share some important incidences which happened in my life. एक दिन हम पढ़ रहे थे उधर स्कूल में, तो our science teacher was teaching Newton's laws. तो न्यूटन्स लॉ पढ़ाते पढ़ाते उन्होंने बताया कि एप्पल जो है न्यूटन के हेड के ऊपर गिरा था, और then he made that law F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by d square. तो my next question was कि सर ये लॉ तो ठीक है, और कहाँ पे वो एप्पल गिरा था? तो सर ने बोला कि that is not the important question कि कहाँ गिरा था, you will not get it in examination. और मुझे वैसे भी टॉप करना अच्छा नहीं लगता था, और बहुत सारे इश्यूज रहते थे स्टडीज के हिसाब से, बिकॉज आसपास में वी वर लोकेटेड इन अ प्लेस, हमारे घर के आसपास बहुत सारे घर नहीं होते थे, तो हम देखते थे लोगों को कि जो भी वो काम कर रहे हैं, पढ़ाई का कोई डायरेक्टली उसमें इतना ज्यादा रोल नहीं रहता है। तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि न्यूटन के हेड के ऊपर जहां भी एप्पल गिरा था, आई वांटेड टू सी दैट प्लेस। तो टाइम तो पास होता रहता है, और हमारे माइंड में जो भी थॉट्स आते हैं, विचार आते हैं, वो पूरे भी होते हैं इफ वी वर्क फॉर देम। तो सर ने पूछा कि कहाँ कौन कौन सी प्लेसेस आपने ऑलरेडी देखी है? तो आई टोल्ड हिम कि मैंने एक दो पास में जो भी खड़ा पत्थर जगह है, देवरी घाट एंड ऑल, तो उसके बारे में मैंने बताया। तो उन्होंने फिर बाद में मुझे बोला कि ब्रिजेश, एप्पल जहां न्यूटन के हेड के ऊपर गिरा था वो तो 7 समुंदर पार है, दैट इज फार अवे फ्रॉम हियर। मे बी तुम लोग कभी पहुंचोगे या नहीं पहुंचोगे, दिस इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू से, पर वो जगह थी। और टीचर्स और पेरेंट्स और एल्डर पीपल की बातें मुझे बहुत स्ट्राइक करती थी ब्रेन में, और वही हुआ। और few years back when I got opportunity to visit UK, then my first visit was to that place जहाँ पे एप्पल गिरा था। और second thing I want to share is कि हम पढ़े उधर स्कूल से। आफ्टर दैट I done my BSc from Government College Mandi. That was very nice place for me. और उसके बाद MSc MPhil शिमला यूनिवर्सिटी से करी, PhD भी करी। बट हमारे टाइम में इंग्लिश मीडियम स्टडी वाज नॉट देयर। 5th क्लास के बाद हमने पढ़ा है। बट टीचर से एक दिन मैंने पूछा कि लाइफ में अगर बड़े बड़े काम करने हैं तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? तो उन्होंने बताया, ब्रिजेश, यू हैव टू बी टॉपर इन एकेडमिक्स और स्पोर्ट्स। तो मैंने भी वैसे ही किया। और बाद में हम कहीं बाहर जब पढ़ने गए, मेनी टाइम्स देयर वर इश्यूज। कभी कभी टीचर्स जो पढ़ाने वाले थे, पर्टिकुलर इन चंडीगढ़, अंबाला, दे यूज्ड टू टीच अस इन इंग्लिश, और समझाने के लिए पंजाबी बोलते थे। वो तो हमें समझ नहीं आती थी ज्यादा, और मार्क्स भी एक दो बारी बहुत कम आए। तो मैंने बट टीचर के पास जाना हम और टीचर से कनेक्टेड रहना वाज माय गुड अचीवमेंट, और उसी की वजह से हम आगे भी ग्रो करे हैं लाइफ में। एक दिन एक टीचर ने मुझे बताया कि ब्रिजेश, कैसा चल रहा है? मैं कहा, सर मेरे ना केमिस्ट्री में बहुत कम मार्क्स आए हैं। बोलते, हाउ मच? आई टोल्ड हिम 0 मार्क्स। तो उन्होंने बताया 0 मार्क्स? मैं कहा, यस, बट आई वांट टू बी टॉपर। बोलते, उसके लिए तो बहुत कुछ करना पड़ेगा। मैं कहा, बोलते क्या इशू रहता है आपका? मैं कहा, समझ ही नहीं आता है। दे टीच डाल्टन्स लॉ, पार्शियल प्रेशर, बॉयल्स लॉ, वो तो समझ नहीं आते, और इशू रहता है मुझे। तो एक दिन उन्होंने अलग से मुझे बुलाया और बोला कि ये लॉज तो बहुत इजी होते हैं, और एक आदमी के दिमाग में एट ए टाइम बहुत सारे लॉज स्टोर हो सकते हैं। इट कैन बी 100, 200, 500। मैंने बोला, बुक में कितने हैं? बोलते, बुक में तो 20, 30, 50 लॉज होते हैं सारे। मैं कहा, ऑल राइट। फिर तो हम पढ़े बढ़िया से, एंड डाल्टन्स लॉ, पार्शियल प्रेशर, जिसमें मेरे किसी टाइम में 0 मार्क्स आए थे, अभी मैं उसको ऐसे ही बोलता हूँ। ही ऑल्सो टोल्ड मी कि जैसे शर्मा लोग बहुत जल्दी जल्दी लॉज को कोई भी मंत्र बोलते हैं, वैसे ही हम साइंस के लॉज भी बोल सकते हैं। और आज की डेट में ऐसा ही है, whether it is physics or chemistry or mathematics, for me when I read them it's fun time for me. जैसे डाल्टन्स लॉ अगर मैं बोलना चाहूं तो वैसे ही बोलूंगा, if two or more gases which do not react chemically are enclosed in a vessel, the total pressure exerted by the gases is sum of their partial pressure that each gases would exert if present alone in the same vessel under similar condition of temperature and pressure. इतना जल्दी केमिस्ट्री वाले भी कभी कभी बोल नहीं पाते हैं, और इतना जल्दी शर्मा लोग भी मंत्र नहीं पढ़ पाते हैं, और ऐसे ही हमने काम किया। आई वॉज टॉपर ऑफ गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज मंडी लॉन्ग टाइम बैक, और बहुत बढ़िया से कैरियर रहा है, एकेडमिक कैरियर। और हम लोग when I want to tell you something about my achievements, बहुत सारे बच्चों का हमने mentorship किया है। many are doctors, engineers and they are in India and abroad also when I go to other countries, वहाँ भी हमें वो लोग मिलते हैं। और अभी भी हमें ऐसे लगता है most of the time like I'm connected with around 25,000 students of our state or other states on through various social media. I'm connected with more than 5,000 or 10,000 principals of degree college and high schools principals from our state and other state. बहुत अच्छा लगता है। I have lot of friends all around the world and I am very fortunate that मुझे घूमने का बहुत शौक था, और यहाँ पर जो भी आज पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं इस मीटिंग में, I can proudly say that I have visited some top tourist destinations of the world from tourism point of view, from academic point of view also. मैंने लंदन देखा है, I visited Oxford University, Cambridge University, Imperial College London. I visited Tokyo also, and not just simple visit, but I have done lot of research on their geography, educational things which they do there. I visited Dubai also and Abu Dhabi, very nice place to visit. Then I visited Bangkok also in Thailand. That is also very different kind of country with different culture, and particularly for females, that country is run by females all the time, whether they are principals or bank managers or drivers or any other people, and fully dominated by female society. और सब लोगों को कभी ना कभी जितने भी लोग जुड़े हैं, they should visit once that country also. Like स्वामी विवेकानंद जो हैं वो उन्होंने कहा है कि जापान कभी जरूर विजिट करना for their nationalism, to see their nationalism, to see their culture, and many other things they have in their country. तो similarly अभी हमारे देश में भी बड़ा बड़ा चीजें चल रही है. I have made collaboration with the researchers, academicians from many countries. Like Irina was here today, she has invited us 40-50 people. We will go to Moscow, St. Petersburg, and then Rome and Italy, other areas also after corona issue is settled. Life is very short. My most of the time I share this thing with the student also. Life is very short. You have to live as it's last day of your life, and most of the time you have to create your own opinions. जो भी स्टूडेंट्स हमारी एसोसिएशन में रहते हैं, हमारा यही मैसेज उनके लिए रहता है. एंड though skill ratio of our country is low, education index is very low, this patent ratio is very low, but even then we find people like Dr. Apirna, Professor Nupur Tiwari, and Miss Irina who shared her thought just before us in this today's session. My point is that we have to work. We have to do something new, because our ancient culture was very rich, where we were yoga में हम लोग बात करते थे यम, नियम, आसन, प्राणायाम, प्रत्याहार, धारणा, ध्यान और समाधि. ऐसी चीजों को स्टडी करने के लिए रशिया के लोग इंडिया में आके काम कर रहे हैं, इटली के लोग काम कर रहे हैं इधर आके, जापान के लोग इंटरेस्टेड है हमारी कंट्री में काम करने के लिए। बट वी हैव टू बी एक्शन ओरिएंटेड। बहुत सारे प्रोफेसर्स हम लोग कभी कभी रिसर्च करते हैं और वेंचर नहीं करते हैं बाहर। वी हैव टू रीच द सोसाइटी, वी हैव टू ट्रेवल डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया एंड अब्रॉड, तभी जाके like I am posted in government PG college Sima, most of the time when I share this thing with my professors there also, many people they don't like to traveling out to different places in India and abroad is big thing. कभी कभी इतना गैप आ जाता है बीच में हम लोगों के बीच में कि that can't be neutralized, or that can't be resolved while sitting at home. We have to venture out. एक तो मैं ये चीजें आपको बताना चाहता था. Second thing is when I talk about my journey from school to college and university, I done lot of research also. I was first a research scholar from Shimla University to publish my paper in IEEE, which is international journal of high repute. And there were many upcoming students later on, researchers from Shimla University who done their PhD work, keeping in mind the experimental work which I done in Nuclear Science Center Delhi, National Physical Laboratory Delhi, IIT Delhi, and Shah Institute Calcutta, and BARC also, Bhabha Atomic Research Center Mumbai. At present, I'm me and my group is also working on one big project, which is longevity of life. हम सभी लोगों को एक हेल्दी और अच्छी लाइफ जीनी चाहिए. That's why I like these Russian people and Italian people. They have very strong physical strength, and in coming time हम भी अपने योगा के माध्यम से, अपना माइंड एंड बॉडी डिटॉक्सिफिकेशन सेंटर के माध्यम से, we will try that to create to establish some centers in our state, though we have already done it in Kufri in Shimla, Dharamshala, Manali, and Rohol in upper Shimla area, where students of school, college, and university they can come anytime to visit, and they will certainly get energized and they will be very fresh. ऐसा तो मेरा मानना है. अभी रश्मि मैम, कैन यू शेयर माय प्रोफाइल, और प्रोफाइल के साथ साथ में मैं यहाँ से आपको एक्सप्लेन करूंगा व्हाट इज देयर टू से. रश्मि मैम, स्टार्ट माय फर्स्ट स्लाइड.
Yes, sir.
स्क्रीन शेयरिंग करें आप उसकी. नेक्स्ट. ओके. मैंने आपको बताया था कि बचपन में रश्मि, जस्ट स्लो फर्स्ट स्लाइड, जल्दी जल्दी से मैं एक्सप्लेन करूंगा. दिस इज माय पिक. Okay, this is my pick near Cambridge University, where we have Newton tree. This is a very special place for all top scientists of the world to visit this place. यहाँ पे एक एप्पल रखा होता है इन लोगों ने नीचे, और लंबी सी लाइन में बारी बारी से लोग इधर आते हैं, और मैंने भी यहाँ पर पिक लिया था. नेक्स्ट. Okay, this is with my old student Abhilasha in the campus of Oxford University. जब हम लोग पढ़ते थे तो कभी कभी क्या रहता था कि हमें इंग्लिश का थोड़ा इशू रहता था. in our time we used to have pen friends. तो हमने भी पेन फ्रेंड्स बनाए, और हम लोग चिट्ठी लिखा हमने. कोई एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट न्यूज़पेपर में आती थी, देयर वाज सम पर्सन फ्रॉम यूके, तो उसको मैंने चिट्ठी लिखा कि आई वांट टू बी फ्रेंड विद यू एंड मेनी अदर थिंग्स. और फर्स्ट लाइन में ही मैंने उसको लिख दिया था, हाउ मेनी पेरेंट्स यू हैव. और बाद में जब उसका चिट्ठी आया तो उसने बोला, डियर फ्रेंड, आई वांट टू बी फ्रेंड विद यू, बट यू हैव टू go through some dictionary, and I recommend Oxford dictionary, और वो ओरिजिनल तो ऑक्सफोर्ड से छपती है, बट यू गो फॉर पायरेटेड वर्जन। तो ऐसी बातें जब भी कोई लोग बोलते थे विच यूज टू हर्ट माई ईगो, तो मैंने अपने माइंड में तभी सोचा था व्हेन आई वाज इन स्कूल, व्हेन आई मेड दैट पेन फ्रेंड फ्रॉम यूके, कि मैं ऑक्सफोर्ड जाके ओरिजिनल डिक्शनरी लूंगा। और जहां पे हमने ये पिक लिया है खड़ा होके, बैक साइड में ऑक्सफोर्ड का वो प्रेस है जहां से ओरिजिनल ऑक्सफोर्ड डिक्शनरी छपती थी। और नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट Okay, this is my pic with the young scientists in Arab Health Summit, Dubai. Arab Health Summit is organized in different parts of the world, and a few years back, I got opportunity to visit as a delegate, Indian delegate to this Arab Health Summit, and I learned a lot there about longevity of life. Next, Rashmi ma'am. Next. These all are Arab Health Summit. Next. Okay, this pic was with some minister from UAE. Is a group of countries. He was from some particular portion of UAE, and he was looking very beautiful. और मैं पास में इनको देखने लगा तो आई वॉज विद माई फ्रेंड, तो हम भी इनके ऊपर कमेंट कर रहे थे कि इन्होंने सिर के ऊपर ये कुछ लगाया है, इट्स जस्ट लाइक रबड़ ऑफ प्रेशर कुकर, जो भी उसका कवर रहता है। तो उसको बोलते बोलते इन्होंने बोला कि यू लुक फ्रॉम इंडिया, इंडिया इज ग्रेट कंट्री, लेट्स हैव अ पिक। तो हमने यहाँ पिक लिया। नेक्स्ट okay, this was one 5-star hotel in Dubai where we, arrangements for our stay were made. Next, this is Dubai, very beautiful. Okay, this is Cavendish lab. जो भी साइंस पढ़ते हैं, आज बहुत सारे प्रोफेसर जुड़े होंगे साइंस के। कैवेंडिश लैब इज वर्ल्ड फेमस लैब। इस लैब से 15-16 नोबेल प्राइज नॉमिनी निकले हैं। और कभी कभी लोग मंदिर में जाते हैं, फॉरेस्ट में विजिट करते हैं, बट फॉर मी बीइंग अ साइंटिस्ट, बीइंग अ फिजिस्ट, I had a dream to visit Cavendish lab। और कैवेंडिश कांस्टेंट का नाम केमिस्ट्री फिजिक्स के प्रोफेसर लोगों ने सुना होगा, मैथमेटिक्स के लोगों ने। तो यहाँ विजिट करने का मुझे मौका मिला। अंदर तो वो फोटो लेने नहीं देते हैं बिकॉज दिस इज वेरी स्पेशल प्लेस, और बाहर मैंने इसके सामने एक पिक लिया था, एंड दिस इज मेमोरेबल पिक फॉर मी। नेक्स्ट रश्मि मैम। ओके, दिस इज कैम्ब्रिज यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपस, और यहाँ पर बहुत आम लोगों का विजिट नहीं करने देते हैं। कैम इज अ रिवर, स्मॉल रिवर, जो बैकग्राउंड में दिख रही है। इसके ऊपर छोटे छोटे ब्रिज बनाए हैं, दैट्स व्हाई दिस सिटी इज कॉल्ड कैम्ब्रिज, एंड जो यहाँ की यूनिवर्सिटी है, इट्स नोन एज कैम्ब्रिज यूनिवर्सिटी। नेक्स्ट। Okay, this is Trinity College, one of the world famous college. Next, Rashmi ma'am. Next. Okay, yes, this is one place। यहाँ मेरे सामने बहुत सारे लोग बैठे थे। I wanted to ask some scientists कि you people in England, you look fit even in your 80s and 90s, how you do it। तो उन्होंने कुछ मेरे साथ चीजें शेयर करी थी, बट साथ साथ में उन लोगों ने मुझे बोल दिया कि we have heard that Indian people, they use, Rishi Muni people used to live 100 year, 500 year, 1000 year। You tell us the Indian concept of health। तो ऐसी ऐसी चीजें बहुत बारी होती रहती है। That's why I am inclined, I am drifting towards this new field for me, which is healthy life and longevity of life। तो मैंने एक लेक्चर दिया था उधर, and it was very nice experience to interact with scientists of Cambridge University during this interaction session. Next. Next, Rashmi ma'am. Okay, these are scientists from UK. Next, Rashmi ma'am. Okay, this is one place near the house of Shakespeare, who holds very high position in for English people, literature people. Next. This is one person, he is Indian from Calcutta. He told me that I have a budget of around 100 crore rupees. Those who want to study in Oxford University, it's very costly here, but I don't give to everybody. If some boys or girls, they are extra talented, or they qualify SAT and ACT and those type of tests, then I also fund them. And he has promised me that you recommend certain names of such students, then I will help out. Next. This is some place in Oxford University. Okay, see this lady, she was perhaps French. इनके पास dogs थे बहुत सारे, 2-4 तो जेब में डाले थे, 1-2 साथ में नीचे थे. बहुत मुश्किल से मैंने इनसे communication किया. मैंने इनको पूछा, why you have so many dogs here with you? तो she said कि for longevity of life, association of animal is very important. और मेरे पास तो 15 डॉग्स हैं, 2-4 तो बहुत बड़े हैं, दे आर एट माय रेजिडेंस. और जब भी मैं रिसर्च करती हूँ, बहुत डेप्थ में स्टडी करती हूँ, whenever I get bored, I play with them. And because human beings many times they have ill minds also sometime, but these dogs, they have a very clear mind, and they are very friendly, and they don't want anything from me except food. और ऐसे व्यूज इन्होंने शेयर करे थे. नेक्स्ट रश्मि मैम. नेक्स्ट. ओके, दिस इज ओल्डेस्ट कॉफी हाउस ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. नेक्स्ट. I will try to complete in 3-4 minutes. Okay, this is one place inside the Oxford University, जहाँ पर डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह, मार्गरेट थैचर, बिल क्लिंटन भी फोटो लेते थे. मुझे मेरी स्टूडेंट ने बताया कि दिस इज वेरी स्पेशल प्लेस. तो मैं कहा ठीक है, जहाँ पर इन लोगों ने पिक लिया है हम भी लेते हैं. नेक्स्ट. Okay, all right. In Shimla we have a place which is called Mall Road. और मैंने हिस्ट्री में पढ़ा था कि वहां पर ब्रिटिश रूल जब चलता था इंडिया में, तो देयर वाज सम बोर्ड वेयर दे हैड रिटन इंडियंस एंड डॉग्स आर नॉट अलाउड. और मेरे मन में ऐसा था कि कभी कभी मुझे सपने भी मिलते थे दैट सम डे आई विल विजिट लंदन, and particularly London Square, which is Mall Road, like we have Mall Road in Shimla. Similarly in London they have London Square. और लंदन स्क्वायर पे मैंने सोचा कभी हम कुछ पैसे कमाएंगे, और अगर कोई मुझे वहाँ बेगर मिल गया तो उसको चैरिटी देंगे हम, चैरिटी उधर. एंड व्हेन आई विजिटेड लंदन स्क्वायर इन यूके, in London, I saw this girl there. देखने में तो she was looking like film star. और when I was crossing with my friend, तो by looking at my dress, because I had a dress of a professor there, or a principal or a scientist, long coat inside and some many other things clubbed together. तो इसने मुझे बोला कि gentleman, I am so and so, and can you give me charity? तो मैंने बोला हाउ मच चैरिटी, बिकॉज इंडियन करेंसी इज वेरी डाउन एज कंपेयर टू यूके. तो बोलते हैं एनीथिंग. तो मैंने इसको पूछा हाउ यू फाउंड दैट आई विल गिव यू चैरिटी, बिकॉज यू आर नाइसली ड्रेस्ड अप. Few days back, Shah Rukh Khan, a film star of India, was here. You have similar dressing up, and you look like that. And he has also given me charity. मैंने भी इसको कुछ पाउंड्स दिए, और देने के बाद शी वॉज ट्राइंग कि मैं पिक लूं इसके साथ. इसने मुझे बोला, जेंटलमैन कैन आई हैव अ पिक विद यू. तो मेरा तो लेने का ही था पिक, और हमने खूब पिक्स लिए उधर. शी इज इन कांटेक्ट विद मी आल्सो लेटर ऑन. तो ये चैरिटी बोलते हैं उधर, बेगिंग नहीं बोलते हैं, बिकॉज इन इंग्लैंड दे गेट मनी फॉर शेल्टर, दे गेट मनी फॉर फूड, दे गेट मनी फॉर हेल्थ. बाकी काम एक्स्ट्रा इसके अलावा जो बचते हैं उसके लिए इनको चैरिटी चाहिए. लाइक आई मेट ओनली 2 beggars in whole of London. One was asking कि I want some charity to have a cigarette or this thing, coffee, cup of coffee. Otherwise their country is so socially secured that they don't have to, even if they will not work for money, no, sorry, food, shelter and health. These 3 things are taken care of by their government. That is what I experienced there. Next, Rashmi ma'am. Okay, वहां पर और भी बहुत सारी चीज. Okay, this is pic near the Imperial College London where Mahatma Gandhi was student. I got opportunity when I was principal in government degree college Nerua. That time I visited this place, Imperial College London. और इनके जो डीन ऑफ स्टडीज थे और जो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज के लिए काम करते थे, उनके साथ मैंने टाई अप भी किया था कि लेट्स हैव अ कोलैबोरेशन विद इंपीरियल कॉलेज लंदन एंड गवर्नमेंट डिग्री कॉलेज नेरुआ. और मैंने बहुत सारे पेपर भी प्रोसेस किए थे, पर तब जो भी एग्जिस्टिंग डायरेक्टर थे उस टाइम, उन्होंने बोला कि लैंग्वेज का कोई इशू होगा, कुछ होगा, लेट्स हैव कोलैबोरेशन ऑफ सेंट बीट्स कॉलेज विद द इंपीरियल कॉलेज लंदन. और मुझे तो पता नहीं गवर्नमेंट लेवल पे क्या हुआ था उसमें, बट द पर्सन हु वाज पोस्टेड इन इंपीरियल कॉलेज लंदन दैट टाइम, ही वाज वेरी इंटरेस्टेड टू हैव अ कोलैबोरेशन विद गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज नेरुआ. इनके कुछ बच्चे हमारे कॉलेज में आके कुछ उन्होंने स्टडी करना था इधर, यहाँ का एनवायरमेंट, सोसाइटीज एंड मेनी अदर थिंग्स. और हमारे कुछ बच्चों का फुल्ली एक्सपेंडिचर पे करके इन्होंने अपने कॉलेज में ले जाना था. मे बी इन कमिंग टाइम आई विल प्रोसेस द केस ऑफ पीजी कॉलेज सीमा with collaboration with such institutes, and we will have collaboration. Next, this is a pic near Charlie Chaplin and all. Okay, next. 1-2 मिनट में ट्राई करता हूँ फिनिश करने का. नेक्स्ट, this is my pic near this Imperial College London. Next, ये भी थेम्स रिवर है. इसके किनारे पे बैठ के इंग्लिश लिटरेचर के बड़े बड़े विद्वान लोगों ने बहुत सारी अपनी रचनाएं रची हैं, एंड वेरी नाइस प्लेस टू विजिट इन इवनिंग टाइम. नेक्स्ट, this was President's Award which our college received, and I was very fortunate that I presented it to my class fellow and the present Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh with the Honorable Education Minister Shri Suresh Bhardwaj. Next, that's all. Next. He is also my class fellow. Doctor. Okay, this was also very pride moment for me. I got Dr. B.N. Vishwas International Award in Dubai a few years back, and I was among the very few people from India who has perhaps received this award, international award, Dr. B.N. Vishwas, for various works which I done for upskilling of students and research work. Next. Okay, this is in Thailand. उनका ड्रेस मैंने पहना है. I have many friends in Thailand also. Let's plan some trip after the corona issue to Thailand also. Very beautiful place to visit. Next. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much. अभी मेरा शेयर करने का तो आप लोगों से बहुत सारी चीजें थी, बट रिसेंट फॉरेन विजिट्स को मैंने शेयर किया है. इंडिया तो आप देखते रहते हैं, और let's hope in coming time we will come up with big projects. अभी कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहते हैं तो they can ask.
Should we invite questions, Dr. Rajesh? Should we invite questions? Yes,
yes,
there
sir.
is one
Yes, ma'am.
question from Dr. Pramod Chauhan. Please go ahead.
नमस्कार
प्रमोद
सबको।
सर, पूछें आप क्वेश्चंस, वाइवा भी ले सकते हैं आप हमारा।
नहीं 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 नहीं, ब्रिजेश बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग था, बहुत ही इंस्पायरिंग आपकी स्टोरी, और जो योर जर्नी फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट स्कूल टिक्कर टू गवर्नमेंट पीजी कॉलेज सीमा।
थैंक यू सर।
और आपने बहुत ही शानदार तरीके से अपनी इस जर्नी को एक्सप्लेन किया, और इससे मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं स्पेशली वो बहुत मोटिवेट होंगे और इंस्पायर होंगे। और लेकिन एक मेरे माइंड में एक थोड़ा सा खुरापाती एक क्वेश्चन पैदा हुआ है, वो ये है कि टिक्कर से सीमा कॉलेज के बीच में जो दूरी है वो लगभग 40 किलोमीटर के करीब है। इन 40 किलोमीटर को तय करने में 40 साल क्यों लगे?
सर ये वाया कैम्ब्रिज एंड लंदन एंड थाईलैंड है।
यस यस एग्जैक्टली बिल्कुल। इन्होंने जो रास्ता चुना सीमा कॉलेज में पहुंचने का, एक आसान सा और साधारण सा रास्ता नहीं चुना। इन्होंने वो रास्ता चुना जो न्यूटन का जो एप्पल का जो ट्री है, जहां न्यूटन के सिर पे गिरा था एप्पल, उसको देखकर, और ऑक्सफोर्ड जो यूनिवर्सिटी में जो डिक्शनरी जहां पे छपती है उसको वहां होते हुए, और आपका टोक्यो, जापान और दुबई, थाईलैंड, ये इन सब सिटीज से और इन सारे शहरों को छूते हुए फिर अल्टीमेटली राजकीय महाविद्यालय सीमा पहुंचे हैं ये। तो ये बहुत ही इंस्पायरिंग, बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग, और सीमा कॉलेज ने भी एक हाई मुकाम हासिल किया है, और इनकी लीडरशिप में भी राजकीय महाविद्यालय सीमा और ज्यादा हायर लेवल की एक्सेलेंस के लेवल पे पहुंच रहा है। मेरा कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है, लेकिन मैं ये जरूर आज की ऑब्जर्वेशन, आज का जो पूरा सेशन है सचमुच में बहुत ही शानदार रहा, बहुत ही इंफॉर्मेटिव, राइट फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग। जो लेडी रशिया से बहुत ही अच्छी अच्छी बातें कही। देखो बहुत कितना अच्छा लगता है जब कोई फॉरेनर यहाँ की, हमारी हिंदुस्तान की खूबी को पहचानता है और उसको अपनाता है और पूरी दुनिया को बताता है, और हम हिंदुस्तानियों को भी बताता है, तो बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है। और इन्होंने एक जो बात कही है, रियल वेल्थ इज हेल्थ, बहुत ही, देखो कितनी अच्छी बात, जिस चीज को हम निग्लेक्ट करते हैं जनरली, तो उस चीज को उन्होंने छुआ है। और हमारे स्क्रिप्चर्स में, हमारे जो पुरानी जो संस्कृति है, खास करके स्पेशली वैदिक पीरियड में, उसमें को कंप्लीटनेस थी, पूरे वर्ल्ड को बहुत कुछ दिया। तो वो चीजें, हमें उन्हीं चीजों को ढूंढने की आवश्यकता है, उन्हीं चीजों को पहचानने की आवश्यकता है। तो बहुत अच्छी बात कही। उसके बाद सचिन का बहुत ही गजब का एक लेक्चर था, सचमुच में मैं बहुत ज्यादा इंप्रेस हुआ, और स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी, टीचर्स के लिए भी, और सब लोगों के लिए भी, जिस तरह से उन्होंने होप और रेजिलियंस के बारे में एक्सप्लेन किया, और टीचर्स को किस तरह से अच्छी टिप्स दिए, तो वो सचमुच में बहुत ही अच्छी चीजें हैं जो सीखने लायक है। और अब उसके पश्चात जो एक यंग लेडी फ्रॉम मुंबई आई थिंक, तो वो उन्होंने भी बहुत हमारे यंगस्टर्स को बहुत अच्छी बातें कही है, खास करके जो हमारे जो बच्चे हैं, और हम लोगों का भी रहता है कि गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर या गवर्नमेंट जॉब की तरफ ही भागते हैं, जबकि हम बहुत सारे एरियाज ऐसे हैं जहां पे अपने ही बलबूते पे, अपने ही अगर टेस्ट को, उसको और अपनी खूबी को पहचाने, और या जो सोसाइटी में जो प्रॉब्लम्स है उसको आइडेंटिफाई करे और उसका सॉल्यूशन फाइंड करे, तो हमें उसी में रोजगार बहुत कुछ मिल सकता है। तो इस तरह की, और खैर ब्रिजेश का लेक्चर भी लास्ट में जो था बहुत ही इंस्पायरिंग था। थैंक यू ब्रिजेश। और आप मुझे समय देते हैं, मैं बोलना तो नहीं चाहता, मैं चाहता हूं कि बाकी लोग इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करें, लोग और इंटरेक्ट करें।
नहीं सर, हमें अच्छा लगता है जब आप अपने कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स और कमेंट्स करते हो।
And you too, ma'am. You also conducted this program today very beautifully. Really, बहुत ही अच्छा, impressive। आप देखो, आपका ये रूम भी बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है यहाँ पे।
थैंक यू सर।
देख के काफी इम्प्रेस हुआ, आपकी जो लाइब्रेरी है, वुडन वर्क है, that's good।
थैंक यू
Thank
सर।
you।
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू सर। और हम आप लोगों से के मार्गदर्शन में और आपकी हेल्प से और भी बड़े बड़े प्रोग्राम्स ऑर्गेनाइज करना चाहते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी, टीचर्स के लिए भी। लेट्स डू समथिंग बिग इन कमिंग ईयर। 2020 तो थोड़ा कई लोगों के लिए ज्यादा एक्टिविटी भरा नहीं रहा, दो इट वाज फुल ऑफ एक्टिविटीज फॉर मी। और आने वाले साल में हम कुछ बड़े बड़े प्रोग्राम्स प्लान करेंगे अभी।
Dr. Vijesh, there is one more question from
Sure,
Ruchika
sure.
Chauhan. She is raising her hand. Please
ओके
unmute her.
ओके ओके, रुचिका चौहान।
Ruchika, yeah, she's there.
Hello.
Yes,
हाँ,
Ruchika, go
रुचिका
ahead,
मैम।
please.
Hello. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Ma'am, it was a inspiring lecture for all of us, and I would like to thank all the teachers कि आपने कि ये इतना अच्छा वर्कशॉप कंडक्ट किया है टीचर्स ने सबने, एंड वी आर फीलिंग सो एंथुजियास्टिक आफ्टर दैट कि एक अभी जो हमने सर का सुना, ब्रिजेश सर का जो लेक्चर था वो हमारे लिए बहुत ही ज्यादा इंस्पायरिंग था। सर आपकी जो मोटिवेशनल स्पीचेस होती हैं वो हम सभी स्टूडेंट्स को बहुत इंस्पायर करती हैं और हमें लाइफ में कुछ अच्छा करने के लिए बहुत ज्यादा मोटिवेट भी करती हैं सर। और वी फील दैट एवरीबडी गेट्स मोटिवेटेड बिकॉज ऑफ योर लेक्चर्स। एंड जो आज मैम ने भी जो शुरू में जो रशियन मैम थे उनका भी जो ये लेक्चर था इसके रिगार्डिंग कि हमारा कैसे हमें अपनी हेल्थ को अच्छा रखना है, तो वो भी बहुत ही ज्यादा अच्छा था। और जो सर का एक होप एंड रेजिलियंस का टॉपिक था उससे भी हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा इंस्पायर हुए कि हमें अपनी किस तरह से करियर ओरिएंटेड होना चाहिए और कैसा हमारा लाइफ के लिए विजन होना चाहिए। तो it was a nice experience. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. And
thank you, Ruchika. Thank you for asking your question. If there is any other participant who has
Ruchika, we will organize some upskilling workshop for student and teacher in coming time also. वहाँ पे एक specific topic पे daily चर्चा रहेगी, and I hope many people will get some good mental food, and we are looking for collaborations also in this project, longevity of life and मेडिसिनल प्लांट प्रोजेक्ट। आप लोगों में से जो भी इन फील्ड्स में काम करना चाहते हैं, आवर नंबर्स आर देयर, यू कैन ऑलवेज कांटेक्ट एंड लेट्स डू समथिंग बिग इन कमिंग टाइम।
Yes, sir.
डॉक्टर ब्रजेश, आप सुन पा रहे हैं?
Yes.
हाँ जी सर।
Yes, please go ahead.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक्स टू यू, बड़ी अच्छी जर्नी है आपकी। मैं इस विषय में यही बताना चाहूंगा कि जब तक किसी भी प्रोडक्ट की अगर मार्केटिंग और रैपिंग अच्छी नहीं हो ना, तब तक वो प्रोडक्ट मार्केट नहीं पकड़ता। तो डेफिनेटली योर रैपिंग एंड मार्केटिंग इज वेरी गुड एंड वेरी इनिशिएटिव। रिसेंटली आपने बताया मेडिसिनल एंड एरोमेटिक से, तो मेरा नॉर्थ इंडिया में डेट पाम के बाद में एरोमेटिक फार्म है, और एरोमेटिक से रिलेटेड अगर आप कोई प्रोग्राम करें तो सीमैप जिसको बोलते हैं, सेंट्रल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेडिसिनल एंड एरोमेटिक प्लांट्स से, वहाँ डॉक्टर संजय है माई क्लासमेट।
ओके।
तो उनका कोई स्पेशल प्रोग्राम अगर इधर ऑर्गेनाइज करवाना हो तो आप ऑर्गेनाइज करवा सकते हैं। और मेरा एक सजेशन था, आप डिफरेंट लोकेशन से हैं, मैं रोजाना सोशल मीडिया के माध्यम से 30 लाख लोगों से इंटरेक्ट होता हूँ।
ओके।
मतलब 1-1 लाख लोगों के अलग अलग पेजेस बने हैं हमारे एग्रीकल्चर सर्विसेज के लिए। तो उस तरह से मैं भी आप लोगों से उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप लोग हिमाचल की आवाज के नाम से एक कोई फेसबुक पेज डेवलप करें और उसमें मॉडरेटर और एडमिन्स को करीबन मेंबरशिप 7 या 8 लोगों को रखें, ताकि हम इस मंच के माध्यम से उन लोगों को एजुकेशन लाइन में और जो डिजिटल मीडिया के लाइन के बारे में मैडम ने बताया था, हिरल मैडम ने, उन चीज़ों को उन स्टूडेंट्स के अंदर इम्प्लीमेंट किया जा सके। क्योंकि जिन प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे हम काम कर रहे हैं, हमें हिमाचल में प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं मिल रहा है एक्चुअल में। अगर मैं बात करूं तो पिछले 5 साल से हम आप तक सीमित है, अभी आगे नहीं जा पाए हैं। हमारी कोशिश है कि हम गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स को लेकर के और आगे जाएं ताकि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलप हो।
ठीक है गोदारा सर, मैं बाकी पार्टिसिपेंट्स के लिए बताना चाहता हूं, डॉक्टर गोदारा इज सीनियर साइंटिस्ट ऑफ आवर कंट्री और अभी पंजाब में ये लोग पोस्टेड हैं और प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफिस के क्लोज एसोसिएशन में बहुत अलग अलग इश्यूज पे काम करते हैं। और गोदारा जी ने जो भी हमें बोला है, बहुत सारे प्रिंसिपल्स भी अभी साथ जुड़े हैं हमारी स्टेट के, तो वी विल सर्टनली क्रिएट दैट थिंग सर। इंफॉर्मेशन शेयरिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट नाउ डेज और बहुत सारे लोग काम भी करना चाहते हैं, उनको ये पता ही नहीं लगता है कि क्या काम करें और कैसे
जी
करें और कब करें और किन लोगों के साथ
जी
करें।
सर,
डॉक्टर
कुछ
गोदारा,
लोग अगर देखना चाहें ना, अगर कुछ
हाँ
लोग
जी हाँ जी,
देखना चाहें तो राइट डाउन एंड नोट कर लीजिए। संग्रिया की आवाज के
गोदारा
नाम से फेसबुक पेज है।
गोदारा सर, आपने कॉन्फ्रेंस का जो ग्रुप बनाया है, आप भी उसमें मेंबर हैं और उसमें हमें शेयर कर दीजिए आप इवनिंग टाइम
ठीक है,
में।
ठीक है सर,
हाँ जी,
ठीक
तो
है,
वो
थैंक यू।
हम फिर आपसे जुड़ रहेंगे। और
थैंक यू।
वी आर वेरी ग्लैड, आप और प्रमोद सर और डॉक्टर नंदलाल शर्मा और आईपीएस ऑफिसर कुशाल जी हमारे साथ, आप और भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं, मैं अभी नाम सबका नहीं पढ़ पाऊंगा। आप सब लोग अपने बिजी शेड्यूल से टाइम निकालते हैं एंड इट्स वेरी इनकरेजिंग फॉर आवर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम ऑल्सो। थैंक यू वेरी मच गोदारा सर।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू, सो नाइस।
हाँ जी, तो इसके अलावा कोई और पूछना चाहते हैं क्वेश्चन और सम दे वांट टू पुट फॉरवर्ड सम पॉइंट, अपना पॉइंट किसी को रखना है?
अब लगता है डॉक्टर ब्रिजेश कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है। डू वी हैव अनदर स्पीकर ऑनलाइन?
नो नो, वी कैन क्लोज मैम, इट्स ऑलरेडी 4:50
ऑलमोस्ट।
नाउ। हाँ, एक क्वेश्चन ले सकते हैं कुछ, या आप अपना
तो
कोई
मैं ये
ऑब्जर्वेशन देना
क्वेश्चन
चाहते
आपसे
हैं?
पूछ लेती हूँ।
हाँ जी,
जो
हाँ जी मैम।
कैम्ब्रिज यूनिवर्सिटी में आपने एप्पल दिखाया,
हाँ जी।
वो एप्पल था किस चीज का बना हुआ? व्हाट वाज वेरी
मैम, जो एप्पल वहां रखा होता है वो ओरिजिनल एप्पल रखते हैं वहां पर, और इतना जूसी होता है वो, अगर उसको किसी पिन से हम दबा रहे थे तो उससे जूस का पिचकारी सी निकल रही थी बाहर को। और कई लोग इंडिया, पाकिस्तान, बांग्लादेश से जो रहते हैं वो खा भी लेते हैं। फिर कोई एक आदमी और जल्दी से आता है, पीछे एक बॉक्स उन्होंने फ्रीजर में रखा हुआ है और फिर वो फ्रेश एप्पल दोबारा वहां रख देते हैं। दैट वाज ओरिजिनल एप्पल। और जो न्यूटन ट्री वहां पर है, वो वाला ट्री तो नहीं है जो पुराने वाला है, पर वो ट्री उसी की स्पीसीज उसी जगह पे लगाई है जहां ऐसा वो बोलते हैं कि जहां न्यूटन के हेड के ऊपर एप्पल गिरा था। एंड दैट वाज ओरिजिनल एप्पल, वेरी टेस्टी एंड वेरी हैविंग वेरी गुड जूसीज आल्सो, न्यूट्रिशियस आल्सो। तो वो एप्पल था जी।
Thank you, Dr. Brijesh. It was your journey, as Dr. Pramod Chauhan has rightly said, that it was your journey from Government College Tikar to SEMA, and it was via Cambridge, Oxford, and all such university. Thank you for taking us along to various parts of the world, and we are really thankful. And I think we should wrap up the session now.
मैम, लास्ट पॉइंट मैं एक बोलना चाहता हूँ। कल हमने शिमला में अरेंज किया है 25-30 लोगों के लिए डे सेशन प्लस इवनिंग क्रिसमस पार्टी। जो भी उसमें पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहेंगे, वी विल अरेंज दैट थिंग। आज ही वो अरेंज करना है, इस सेशन के बाद मैं उधर ही जा रहा हूँ। और 26 और 27 का क्या शेड्यूल रहेगा, दैट वी विल शेयर इन द ग्रुप। और अलग अलग आईडीज क्रिएट होनी है उसमें, साइंस कॉमर्स के लिए एक रखेंगे और आर्ट्स के लिए दूसरी रखेंगे। एंड वी विल हैव जर्नल सेशन आल्सो ऑफ 1 आवर। तो उसके लिए जो भी स्पीकर्स और बाकी लोग बोलना चाहते हैं, देयर नेम्स आर इनवाइटेड एंड यू कैन पोस्ट इवन इन कॉन्फ्रेंस व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप, जो भी आप लोगों को शेयर करना होगा। अदरवाइज वी ऑल प्रिंसिपल्स एंड ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी will meet on through some social media in the evening time today or maybe tomorrow morning, तो उसमें हम ये सारा शेड्यूल फाइनल कर देंगे। ठीक है मैम?
That means all the participants are invited. They can give their consent if they want to participate in a 2-day international conference, and they can connect to Dr. Brijesh through WhatsApp or email. And
Yes, ma'am.
now this is time to wrap up this 7-day workshop. and it was a week-long workshop and very engaging, as I was saying in the initial stage also, that it was very informative and very engaging. And lastly, I would like to convey my gratitude to all the invited speakers and participants who joined us in this conference right from the very first day, that was on 18th. And I'm also thankful to all the organizers, the team of organizers, where different colleges they were involved, and the leader of the team, that is Dr. Bijesh. I'm really thankful to Dr. Bijesh and his team of different colleges. Thank you very much.
All right, Rashmi ma'am, you can close now. Thank you very much to Help India for providing technical support, Science and Management Society, because a lot of their people participated in this, and Just Happy Mind also, they will also be part of our conference.